inverted, narcissistic, and most importantly, completely pointless. Come waste an hour of your week with The Starting Block, Friday nights Australian time at dlive.tv/The Starting Block. Get in touch with us on Twitter at The Starting Block, no K at the end. Also, subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts or iTunes by searching for The Starting Block, all one word, or on Podbean at startingblock.podbean.com. Join the blockheads, tuning in their millions, right around the world.
You're listening to The Starting Block on TAVshow.com.
The following program is recommended for mature individuals and may contain material unsuitable for morons, cretins, and dishwipes. If you are a moron or a member of the PTL Club, please turn off your radio, because we don't need any more stupid, narrow-minded, pencil-neck geeks who wouldn't know the First Amendment if it came up and bit them on the butt. Thank you.
Okie dokie, roll 'em!
Nothing to rearrange. Sometimes you just get a feeling like you need some kind of change.
Hey, welcome to the Starting Block for another week. Big show as always. We got muted words, we got story time, we got journalism, we got Unity Day updates, we got Statman, all that, much, much more here on the block.
Standing tall on the wings of my dream. Rise and fall on the wings of my dream. Rain and thunder, the wind and haze, I'm bound for better days. My life, my dream, nothing's gonna stop me now.
It's Greeno here from the Starting Block. On behalf of the block, we just wanted to let you all know that we're all in this together. Well, except if you have coronavirus, then stay the fuck away. But in every other situation, we're in it together. To all of you on the front lines, those of you turning a footstool, a wok, and a pitchfork into a home gym, those of you who have given your housemates a mental breakdown because you decided lockdown was a great time to learn the keyboard and the only thing you can play after 8 weeks is chopsticks over and over and over again. And those of you who are homeschooling and are now understanding the question you used to harass your maths teacher with of, when the fuck are we ever going to need to know this in the real world, is coming back to bite you on the ass. Just remember, like a 1990s Australian sitcom, we're all in this together. The days may be long, but in times like this, you can rest assured we will be here to waste an hour of your week, Friday nights Australian time, at dlive.tv/The Starting Block. So take care, social distance, whack on a mask, and subscribe to our show on iTunes. It may not cure coronavirus, but it sure will help us with our rankings. And isn't that really the most important thing right now?
Public Radio's loss is TAVshow.com's game. You're listening to The Starting Block.
Hey, welcome to the starting block for another week. You've got myself, Greeno, and I'm joined by a man who spent the last couple of days frantically trying to find his forklift license. Okay, Captain Damo, how are we, sir?
Very good, Greeno. Good evening to you, boys, girls, listenership, blockheads, millions around the world, etc. Forklift license. Now, for a while, you've been doing these references at the start of the show. Sometimes I get them, sometimes I don't. What's this one? I have no idea.
You have no idea? Oh, mate, where were you yesterday? That's the thing. So,
I was here. I was at home.
You were here? Yeah. Our illustrious PM, he's like, look, I understand there's some staff shortages at the moment.
Mm.
Can we lower the age kids can get forklift licenses so we can get some of them to do some of the work at the moment?
Going to start marching the kids right back into the mines, Greeno, the coal mines.
Yeah. So look, it's an interesting solution to a problem created where they've gone, look, we're going to let it rip. Let's go nuts. And unfortunately, what that's meant is, it turns out a lot of fucking sick people, which means a lot of people can't go to work. Well, how are we going to fix the people not being able to go to work? Yeah. Firstly, we're going to change the rules to make the sick people be able to go back to work earlier. Yep. Secondly, we're going to make the kiddies who up until now were unsafe to drive said forklifts go, yeah, mate, go nuts. You healthy? You good? You got a cough? You got a sniffle? Nah, excellent. Hop on, son.
Yeah, it's an
we need to
It is an interesting argument, though. It is an interesting argument, I find, though, because I have seen, some people, that's a lot of commentary going around like, oh, the let it rip attitude. And of course, you're going to get more sick people and then it's harder to get to work. But then, of course, Greeno, one must also consider the reality that locking everybody out of work, even if there are sick people in the society, at least there's more people working with sick people out there than there is with locking everyone up in their own homes.
Gary!
So, there's a point, all those retail stores, right? The people who are getting sick are the people who are going to the shops or working in the shops that only can be served whilst working in the actual fucking real world shopping environment, right? Otherwise, they'd be doing it from home. So, there's more people working now than there is under complete lockdown. That's fairly obvious, I would have thought, with all of the checks the government was handing out to small businesses. Have we all forgotten the $650 a week that every worker would get because they were furloughed, because they couldn't go to work, because the government locked them down? Like, come on now. So I do find it interesting. But the main point is, Greeno, I do 100% behind getting the kids back into the fucking workforce like it used to, like the good old days, Greeno. Have you seen those black and white pictures? That's no, fuck the 60s. No, the 1860s I'm talking about.
Oh, 1860s, you're talking chimney sweeps. You're talking Oliver.
Yes, those old black and white photos you see of London and the little depressed little kid who looks like he wants to jump off the Tower of London, right? And he's covered in soot, just a loaf of bread. Work for a week and then we'll let you fucking play your PlayStation. How about that? A week in the salt mines should do it. Teach you some respect. So I like it.
Nice, Gary.
And then the rest of us can stay home and work from home while the kids tend to the mining situation.
Spot on. Firstly, a couple of things. Once again, you apparently think that there's more people working now than in the lockdown. Potentially, I don't know. I haven't done the figures.
What figures do you have to do? If shops are open, there's more people working than if all the shops are closed. Like, it's fairly logical.
There's too many sick people. If there's too many sick people to open said shops, then those shops are back closed.
There's not more people working in a complete lockdown than if there's no lockdown, Greeno. Like that can't be possible.
We're not focusing on negative here. I'm trying to come up with a fix, all right? So you know nothing about viruses. I know nothing about employment. Between us, we'll fix it. Now, my theory is, so there seems to be a couple of things. There's meat shortages and there's delivery shortages. There's not enough staff to do the meat and also deliveries. Yeah. So what I'm putting out here, virtual abattoirs.
Nice,
Gary.
I want Boogie from the comfort of his own home to be able to slice and dice a cow at his own whim.
Yep.
I don't know how they're going to do it. That's not my problem. I'm just coming up with a solution. They're going to find a way to sort it out.
What if we hire the vaccinated and masked children to be the delivery drivers? So now we'll start giving them their license at the age of 10.
No, but the vaccinated, you got to remember the vaccine doesn't work anymore.
That's right.
Now it probably is safer to have the unvaccinated do it.
Yes.
Cover our bases.
So the vaccinated, you stay at home. Okay.
Yeah.
You stay at home and log into your workstation, and we'll send the unvaccinated, specifically the children, to go around in the Ubers. They'll have to get those booster seats so they can see over the little dashboard.
That's fine. That's fine. I've seen Look Who's Talking, mate. If a fucking baby can drive a taxi, then surely we can get some kiddies out there delivering some meat.
Oh, look, and there goes a dog driving a car. That was a baby driving a bus.
Very good. So we fixed it. We're all good. So virtual avatars, Boogie from his home, slicing and dicing, kiddies behind the wheel of a taxi, a la Look Who's Talking. Fixed it. Like I said.
I forgot I still had the intro screen on that whole time.
Nice, Gary.
Doesn't matter, mate. No one's watching. Don't worry about it.
Not even us, because it was able to be broadcast for a solid 10 minutes without noticing. So we're not even watching this.
We're not watching. We don't pay attention to our show. I'd like to start the show off with muted word of the week. Now, what I've realised, social media, especially in the COVID era, is that fucking repetitive dickhead at a pub, right? Who wants to tell you about his opinion, but just bangs on about the same point to the point where you're like, mate, I fucking heard you an hour ago. Yeah, I get it. No need to tell me again. But we'll perpetually follow you around said pub, just fucking annoying you about the point that he made 2.5 hours ago that he's been talking about for 2.5 hours. That's social media.
And then relating every deterrent from the conversation that you're having. He keeps bringing it back to the point every single time. Like, it doesn't matter what you bring up. You can say, like, I was at my daughter's ballet recital yesterday, and he'll go, yeah, you know, I've seen ballet recitals, and they remind me of Russia, because you know how Russians are so fucking good at ballet, and it reminds me of the fucking 2016 Trump election. You're like, oh, here we fucking go again.
Here we go.
How'd he do that?
Exactly. So thankfully, we can now mute the dude at the pub, because we're not allowed to go to the pub anymore. Now we can also mute words. So we like to do muted word of the week on this particular show. So for me this week, muted word of the week, NFTs.
Nice, Gary.
Now, I don't know what a fucking NFT is, and that would involve me doing research, looking it up. All I know is it's fucking up my timeline. We talked about it before. All I want to see is sport, 80s movies, and tit. That's all I want on my timeline. That's my rules. You throw anything else in there, it's ruining what I'm trying to achieve from social media.
You want to be abreast of the issue. Someone earlier asked me what's an NFT, and I replied, not fucking turnips. And I think that's probably right. Unless it is a turnip reference, then we're all fucked.
It could be. If we're turnips, look, once again, you can't deliver the turnips anyway. We haven't got the kiddies in line yet.
Yeah, we're not handing out licenses to the 10-year-olds yet to get the little fuckers back to the workforce, like where they belong, like the good old days.
Spot on, 9-year-olds. Yep. Which we think, actually, sorry, quick reflection. We're going to step back in time to the last topic. So about a minute and a half ago, we were talking about the forklifts.
This is really the dumbest, most narcissistic thing on the internet, this stupidity that we do here.
It's so dumb. It's really dumb.
And it's the whole thing of like pretending. It's the whole thing of like acting like we're doing it like for real. Like it's like, you know, which it sounds good and it looks presentable and stuff, but you know, it's not very good. It's not really very good at all.
This is really nothing, to be honest. And it's not even well presented, because like theoretically I should have like covered this topic when we were doing the topic, but I just fucking went on to the next joke and then like, oh shit, I forgot about this joke from earlier.
So step back in time for a minute and a half.
That's why we got to step back in time. Soundbite. A lot of soundbites. Any program. Here's a tip for the listeners. If you ever hear a program and there's a lot of sound bites in them, a la this show, it means the show's not very good.
It's trash.
Because you've got to fill it with sound bites to distract you from the fact there's no quality content that the hosts are presenting.
Correct. Whoa, we've got a court alert. Oh, you know, coming in. Did you hear the latest about Ariana Grande? Oh, my God, baby. Oh, yeah. Blow Your Mind FM right here on your dial. Fuck yeah.
Quick story time before we step back in time. The Earth Report. It's been a while. Can we do a story time before we go back?
I like step back stories about pinatas.
The show's now reached the point where I'm interrupting my own stories to talk another story. Now, took the little one for a bike ride. I like to take him out for bike rides. Right, get him out, get him some fresh air, gives him a bit of exercise. He loves it. He's like, Daddy, we pretend to go on a dinosaur adventure. We drive around, we go through bushes. He's like, there's a stegosaurus. I'm like, excellent, son. We're out there, we're exercising. Yep. Good fun. Now, Took my son out last week. I decided to. I like to put the radio on. Normally it's baseball games, but there's no baseball on at the moment. But so I've been putting Spotify on, just listening to some random punk tunes.
Okay.
And then this week I'm going to mix it up now. I'm just going to put on some ESPN radio because the NFL had just finished. There've been a couple of cracking games.
So you just want a bit of post-match mindless banter, you know?
Well, there was a game going on at the same time. I'm like, surely they're going to cover the game.
Right.
They talk about it, blah, blah, blah. Unfortunately not. What I end up enduring was in the 30-minute bike ride I took my son out for was 20 minutes of ads. There was literally six different interruptions in that 30-minute span of an ad.
Yeah.
So there was like 2 minutes of content, 4 minutes of ad, 2 minutes of content, 4 minutes of ad. 6 times in that 30-minute span. I'm like, is my app repeating? I didn't understand where I was losing my mind. So I just put it out to the Twitterverse. I'm like, look, just listen to ESPN for the first time in a long while. Is anyone else having the same issue where there's an ad every 3 minutes? I just had 6 ads, and it was like 20 out of the 30 minutes.
It's relentless.
And apparently that's the new rule. That's what they do. They just fucking drown you with ads.
Because
less content, more ads.
Oh, man, like I've noticed that they play way more commercials in the States than they do here when I've watched like American TV, like even the news channels and stuff, you know what I mean? Like it's a lot more commercial than we have, but especially the sport and especially the football, because it's just they've a forensic accountant type has looked who knows nothing about football, but he sat there and he's accounted for like all of the stoppages in play and figured out how much per second he can sell advertising space for, you know. And so every single time the ball stops moving, that's it. It's a commercial. It's fucking it's unwatchable. It's unlistenable.
NFL watching the game, different story. Someone went down injured, they go for a 3-minute ad, and that's their prerogative. But this was radio, right? So they weren't even covering the game. I thought, look, the Bengals are just
talking about the game. That's even worse.
Yeah, just talk about the game. But at the same time, Bengals have just won their first playoff game in 31 years, right? So I'm like, look, they're going to be getting the Bengals fans on the line. There's plenty to talk about. It was an amazing performance. Joe Burrow, the guy they drafted like early in 2 years ago, I think off the top of my head. Like his first ever playoff win. They've ended the drought. This is amazing. They talk about it incessantly. And it was like, it was a Joe Biden ad for fucking 40 times back to back about, we're going to reflect back on the presidency of Joe Biden.
That's weird.
How he has the lowest approval ratings in 40 years. And I'm like, why is this ad repeating over and over and over? It was fucking very weird.
Hey, listen, why can't
Good
you
one.
Americans? Good story.
I like stories about pinatas.
Listen, why can't you Americans do sport politics cross promotions like we do? Now, what we do is we sit the Prime Minister in the commentary box of the cricket for like awkwardly for like 10 minutes. And then, like whether he's trying to guess when he's allowed to talk. And the commentator, Gilly, was with him, right? And I think Gilly quite likes ScoMo. The way he was talking to him, I think he respects him, or he at least respects the office, which is good. You know, it's what you expect in a cricket kind of environment.
Gilly's just a good dude, and he's really. They went around the office, right? They're like, who are we going to put in here with ScoMo? Yeah. We're not going to put Warney in. Yeah. We're not going to put in Howie because he's fucking.
Howie.
Mark Wall will just fucking whinge and complain for the entire time the PM's in there.
If you put Brendan Julian in, ScoMo will fall asleep.
We put Brendan Julian in, he'll just talk about ads for the better part of the whole segment, and we're going to miss out on the ScoMo plugs.
Talk about camping.
Who we got? We've got Isha and we've got Gilly. Right,
Isha was in there with him. Now, but the funny thing was, right, Gilly was cutting him off because cricket was happening. Now, he gave him a lot of leeway, but remember, a wicket fell. So Gilly was kind of like, well, I've kind of got to step in here, Prime Minister. Sorry, if you could just hold on for 1 second, there's fucking cricket happening. And it was nice Gary to Gilly. Gilly was probably one of the best in the commentary box, I think, over the summer of the Ashes, don't you?
Oh, 100%.
In the Fox coverage.
We're doing our power rankings.
We'll do a power ranking.
Let's do a fucking Ashes commentator, and we'll get back to the step back in time that I was talking about 4 minutes ago. So in a minute after we do the power rankings. So number one, I think we're going to be in agreement of this. Ishiguro.
Oh yeah, 10. Yeah, 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
I just love Isha because Isha, like, despite the fact that she's a she, obviously, she reminds me of a traditional cricket commentator when we were growing up. And that's what I miss. Her. Yeah, man. Because she's British, and cricket is thought of differently in England than it is here. And
she talks fucking cricket.
She does. She talks fucking cricket. She knows what she's talking about too. Like, she's pretty fucking good. She was a pretty good handy little player too, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't she? Like, she won a lot of shit when she played for England. So, yeah, respect all around. She's also a bit of a tighty unit, in my opinion, as well. So, in
your opinion, yeah, for
easy
me,
on the eye.
For me, I don't see it as much.
The main thing is like she's got that understated, subtle cricket commentator quality, which I like, as opposed to say. Mark Howard's probably a very nice guy, but he's just like, I think he should be commentating wrestling or something. Like he's where he belongs. He's a Daryl Eastlake.
Yeah, that's the problem.
He's very matey and blokey, and it's like I
don't want matey and blokey in my cricket commentary. I want to talk cricket.
Yeah, and if you're going to be matey and blokey, you have to do it with a touch of class, and that's why you've got Kerry O'Keefe. Greeno.
Spot on. Who, for me, number 2.
No, absolutely. Kerry O'Keefe will always be my number 1, I think.
But Isha, for me, this summer, I put her ahead.
Standout performer this summer.
Yeah,
over her career, it's Kerry O'Keefe.
Over career, different story. We're talking this summer, the Fox commentary we listened to. For me, it was Isha then Kerry. I enjoyed them both. Yeah. The reason I put Kerry at 2 behind Isha at number 1 is he got a little bit involved in the boofy blokey stuff. Not his fault. Because he got stuck in there with fucking Howie and Warney.
A lot.
Made it difficult for him to try and make, very articulate analysis that he normally does.
Well, did you hear him with A? So, yes, you're right. But did you hear him with AB in the commentary box? It was a totally different fucking...
so good, mate. It was so good.
Yeah, man. Because you hear AB is like... AB's kind of like... He kind of sounds nervous, when he's in the box. So it's a bit of, But Kerry O'Keefe's not. And Kerry O'Keefe's like... Alan, you were known for having a murderous cut shot. When you approached a bowler like this, do you try to balance your weight, on the back foot more? Are you looking to rotate around and get it, back with a square? And it's like shit like that. But then when he's in the box with Warney, Kerry O'Keefe turns to, and then he drank one too many and fell over. Which I also love, mind you.
Nice,
that
Gary!
Fucking give yourself a nice Gary. That was the most spot on Kerry O'Keefe impersonation I've heard.
Kerry,
that is unbelievable. That's better than my Kimmy. Because Kimmy's not hard to do, but fuck me, that was quality, that. Okay, so Kerry number 2. Number 3 for me was Huss. I enjoyed Michael Huss.
Nice Gary.
Nice, Gary!
Yeah. Huss was good, definitely.
Agreed on 3? We're happy with Huss at 3?
Yeah, absolutely. Lock it in.
All right, cool. Number 4, I'm probably going to go AB.
I don't know if I can. It's a tough one, isn't it? Really.
After that, it's Murd.
I'm gonna put Michael Vaughan at a solid 4 because I like Vaughan and you fucking hate him.
Yeah,
I
didn't like him.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna.
You can put it at 4
because AB was barely there. I think Vaughan did 3 and AB did 1 or 2.
First or second test. Yeah. And then after that, all Murd. Not going to bother ranking. Because it's terrible after that. Because you've got a bucket of shit that is Warney, Mark Waugh,
Warney's a legend.
Binger, Brendan Julian, and Howie. That's the pit that's left, and I want no part of it.
Well, at least she didn't have to sit through Michael Slater. So
yeah, good point. Fair call.
Yeah,
fair call.
Nice, Gary!
So back to our step back in time from about 12 minutes ago now. So when we're talking about forklifts, it got me reflecting, right? Where back as a youngin', I didn't realize you needed a license to do a forklift.
Yeah.
Because I swear I was fucking ripping around on a forklift back in my supermarket days. Sans license, I guarantee it.
Oh yeah.
And I must have been I wouldn't have been like 12, but I swear I wasn't
15 or something like that.
Yeah, 15, because you got to move the pallets. Like I used to work in deli, I had to move pallets out of the way to be able to get to the freezer and get the stock, etc.
Well, those were in the days before the supermarket started hiring people with titles such as things like, health and safety compliance officer.
Fair call.
Right? Because back in the day, it was just like, hey, kid, do you know? I remember I was 16 years old. I was working at a dump, right? Like a literal dump. I was 16 years old. I didn't even have a full license to drive a car, and I was moving fucking semi-trailers around, hooking them up to huge machines, driving backhoes, and like fucking going into these when I say huge, I mean it's like a pit. It's like a 20-story high building, and there's big fucking compactors and shit, and it feeds into semi-trailers. I was down there moving there and doing all that shit. And if I had have walked with that experience, I could walk to the nearest warehouse near where I lived, and I couldn't get a job driving a fucking little tiny forklift. It's like a Matchbox car. I'm like, you fucking serious? No, you got to get a license for that. Oh, okay, I'm not qualified. Fucking nice, Gary.
Nice, Gary.
Nice, Gary.
We were working around. We're the same age, and we were working at the same time. I was working a forklift, definitely with no license.
Yeah. Well,
because we had to put the stock somewhere, and someone had to move it, and no one had a license. So I was like, fuck it, just. Bring the deli guy in. I'm sure he can put it up on the second floor. It'd be fine.
Nowadays, they'd fucking run you. You'd be written up, Greeno. You'd get an official warning for that. You haven't been trained. Where's your license?
My boss's problem.
And you know what? Like, I remember going fishing once when I was like 20 years old, maybe younger, 19, 18,
fishing
something
license.
like that. Fucking fishing license, because we show up to the bait shop and it's like, yeah, you boys going out, eh? You got your like, the meme for Australia is you got a license for that, mate. You know, like it was literally, have you got a license for that? And, Baz was like, what are you fucking talking about, a license? And he goes, oh, you need a license to fish here. And he's like, you're fucking kidding, are you? I'm just going to go out and it's everyone's fucking water. What are you talking about? Like, it's like, no. So you had to fill out. It's fucking bullshit because he filled it out at the bait shop, Greeno. So, you fill out your fishing license form. It costs you $30 and it's good for a year. You hand it to the bait shop guy. He's like, all right, off you go. No one's checking it. It's just a money-making scheme.
I want to see the dude who gets pulled over out there with the rod. It's like, hey, mate, you got a license for that rod? And you're like, no, mate, I'm not fishing. This is like just art piece. Yeah, this is artistic rod. This one, no fishing, no bait on it.
I've got to tell you,
I like stories about pinatas.
I've got to tell you a story. It's not a story. It's a joke. It's a King Billy Coke bottle joke, right? Along the same lines. So, this guy, his friend, King Billy's friend is always Morton. He's always in the joke. So he's like, hey, Morton's out at the creek and he's fishing around and he comes across this cage and it's got a fucking mud crab in it, right? So he opens up the cage and he puts the mud crab in the boot of the car. And just as he's about to drive off, someone taps him on the shoulder. And it's the fisheries inspector. He's there to inspect the traps. And he goes, what are you doing there, Morton? And he goes, oh, nothing, mate. Just out here taking my crab for a swim. And he's like, what do you mean? He goes, yeah, that's my pet mud crab, mate. His name's Marky. I bring him down here for a swim every day. And he goes, oh, that's fucking bullshit. And he goes, no, look, I'll prove it. I'll put him in the creek and he'll swim around and he'll come straight back to me. And the guy says, all right, then prove it. So he picks up the crab and he puts it in the creek and the crab goes swimming off and he just swims away and fucks off and doesn't come back. And the fisheries inspector turns to him and says, well, Morton, where is he? And he goes, where's what?
Nice, Gary.
Okay. Exactly. So dumb. Fishing license. That's a scam. Let's do a story time, which is meant to be the opening segment.
I like stories about pinatas.
Damo, we talked about the start of my year. Hadn't got off a good start. Fucking broke my finger. Wife was caught into work during the middle of the lockdown.
Just for future reference, Greeno, do not jump from I broke my finger to my wife, okay? Ow, yeah. She likes it rough.
Yeah, we had, what else did we have? Greeno passed out of exhaustion day one of the year.
Yeah.
Plenty of bad shit happened to kick off the year. And I was like, look, it's been a bad year, but already, and we're only, 10 days in when we did that segment.
Yeah.
So I'm like, surely the fucking shit's about to turn.
Can't get any worse than this, can it?
Had that's right. My car blew up. I can't drive my car, and I got to get a brand new transmission. Got to find 10 grand for that bastard.
How are you moving on that front, by the way? Got that sorted?
That one still up in the air. So what happened is sent it to the manufacturer to go, look, hey, can you cover it under warranty? Warranty expired.
Oh shit!
Yeah, no good.
And if you've got to order something in, mate, you're going to be waiting like 6 months because every world shipping is basically like, moving at a snail's pace. So no one's getting anything.
Exactly. So I was like, look, surely my luck's got to turn around, right? So I'm like, look, I'm not far off annual leave. I'm about to have about a bit of holiday. It's going to be good. I'm going to have some time off. It's going to be nice. So in the mood, my mind is focused on positivity, trying to put all the bad shit in the rearview mirror.
You're muting words on Twitter. You're getting rid of all the negativity. You just want 80s movies and sport and tits, mate.
And tit. That's all I want. Those three things. 80s sport and tit. Everyone's a happy man. Show me a man who's unhappy when their life has nothing other than 80s movies, sport, and tit. I guarantee you won't find one.
And in the perfect scenario, like in the pure Bermuda Triangle scenario, Greeno, you want to combine all three. Like, for example, like Major League, or you've got to get a movie with sport, 80s, and tits. Can we get a pool together of all of the sport movies from the 1980s that show breast in them? And then those will be
Major League. That's a good point.
That's the list of perfect movies enshrined in time. Like if we could put them in a time capsule to the year 4000 or something, and they'll go, you know what, these guys had a lot of fun back then in the 80s. The 80s look fucking good. I'd love to have a look at it. I was a kid in the 80s. Like I don't remember it. You know, we were like fucking 7 years old when the 80s were finished. So we missed all of the AIDS and stuff. And it looks like a hell of a lot of fun back then.
I tell you who I think might be the man for that mission. I think Pessy will be able to tell us what sports movie is from the 80s, sports and tit.
I reckon there would be dozens of them, like that we just can't think of right now. Yeah.
Because all sports movies like back in the 80s, sports movies tended to be kind of like very positive. They were all like feel-good stories.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine a lot of tit in there. You know what I mean?
No.
So, because all the ones I'm thinking back on, I'm like, anything that might be 80s and sport is all very feel-good.
I was just
I like stories about pinatas.
Speaking of 80s movies, I myself and the Lady Boogs, we watched Beverly Hills Cop last night, Greeno.
Oh, how good is that movie?
It's one of the best. And the first one, and we were laughing and we're like, how fucking good is this? Especially the scene when he's in the hotel and he's like, so if Michael Jackson comes around here and he's looking for me, tell him he ain't staying at the Hollywood Hotel because they don't let no niggas up in here. It was like, I was fucking on the floor. We were both on the floor laughing, and it was just, it's also, when you watch those movies with those kinds of jokes in them, right, and just Eddie going at his fucking prime, at the peak of his powers, you know what I mean? When you watch them, it's funny, but it's also sad because it's like, oh man, the world is so shit now. Like everything has to have a fucking message embedded in it now. You know what I mean?
Well,
we've got to stand up for women, or stand up for trans people, or stand up or fight against fashion. It's just constant fucking never-ending messaging and shit. And people barely make just good movies right now. You know what I mean? But we were watching Beverly Hills Cop, and you know, like the opening credits of Beverly Hills Cop, the first movie, I reckon they. And I'm like, I say to the Lady Boogs, look at this. Like, look how easy were credits back in the 80s, because they were just filming like fucking normal people on the street and like sitting on the fucking steps of their housing project or whatever, drinking out of bags, and they just put the music to it and then the names on the screen. That's it.
It was like, this is low demographic.
Yeah.
We need to get as many establishing shots as we can.
Yep.
Yeah, very much so.
This is where he's from. But it's just like with a music track, put the names on the screen, we're done. That's it. Now they have like elaborate fucking special effects and shit for the title sequences, and everything's got to have a message. It's almost like they're thinking too much about it. Let's just strip it all back. Get back to basics. Just make good fucking stories.
And some shots and a good story and some good jokes.
Don't worry about Don't worry about being funny and also empowering for lesbians. Like, just be funny. Just be funny.
Yeah.
But no, we can't.
I watched I watched Beverly Hills last night. I watched for the first time ever. I watched the movie Heat last night. You ever seen the movie Heat?
Yeah, that's Scarface and who else?
Yeah, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino.
Robert De Niro. Yeah,
but it's got like
a dirty cop or something. Is from memory?
No, not a dirty cop, but it's a legit cop and like a crime guy who's like pretty switched on. So they kind of have respect for each other.
Right.
But the cast in itself is unbelievable. Like Val Kilmer, you've got who was it there? Natalie Portman.
Yep.
Whole bunch of actors that I'm like, wow, this cast is unbelievable.
Yeah.
But it, once again, it wasn't trying to go to a certain methodology of like trying to put a message. It was just an old school cop film where you're like, you got a fucking smart baddie and you got a smart cop, and they're going head to head, and eventually they're going to meet in the end.
Yeah.
And one of them's going to come out ahead. And it went for like 2.5 hours. Such a good film. Never seen it before. But apparently the fun factor of that film was in the movie, the movie was like 2 hours, 50 minutes, right? But that was the cut down version. The original movie went for like a lot longer, right?
Yeah.
So, but in the original version, Al Pacino was a cokehead. So randomly throughout, but they cut out all the coke stuff.
Why?
So randomly throughout the movie, he's just like screaming randomly. And you're like, why's fucking Al screaming about a big ass? I don't understand.
So they cut out all of the context and then kept the reactions in.
Yeah, so randomly in the middle of the night, Al's just fucking going on like a coke rant, and you're like, what happened to Al?
I haven't even seen him take any coke. What's going on?
He was a level-headed cop fucking 5 minutes ago. But anyway, going back to your point of back in the day, they didn't try and put a message in. It was literally just, here's a good cop, he's a bad cop. Oh, sorry, he's a good cop, he's a bad guy. They're both kind of smart, and you kind of want to root for both of them, but in the end, one's got to come out and watch their journey. It was enjoyable.
You know, the last like kind of newish enjoyable movie that I saw that like didn't have any overarching message in it, and it's a few years old now, I think, was called Knives Out. I don't know if you saw that.
No, the name sounds familiar. I've never seen it though.
It's got like Daniel Craig, who plays like a Creole detective, like a
definitely haven't seen it. Yeah.
Oh, it's good. It's kind of like a Cluedo, but it doesn't take itself seriously, you know. And it's a murder mystery, but done like in that kind of fun way, like a Cluedo game, right? You know, so he's this special investigator who's brought in to figure out who murdered the old guy, and he interviews them and stuff, and they've all got their little quirks, and they're all backstabbing each other and shit. But, you know, I watched that, and then you get to the end of it, and you're like, oh, you know what? That was refreshing because no one called me a fucking racist during it, you know? So it's like, that was nice. I enjoyed that. Like, we're so easy to please now. We're so easy to please. All you have to do is not, you know, go around and say, well, that you're a fucking white supremacist and a sexist and a pig and you hate gay people. And it's like, are we doing this again? Am I getting lectured again for going to the movie? I'm paying for this. Why are we paying for this lecturing?
Yeah, you don't pay for it.
No.
You just got to pirate it online.
That's right. Steal it. Steal it and prove them wrong. Huh?
Nice, Gary!
Realize we're still in the middle of a story time. We'll finish off story time and then we'll go to a break. So bad luck start the year. So I'm like, surely my luck's got to change, mate. Got to change. Then get a little message on. That's it. Get a little message on Friday Arvo to go, look, sorry, bit of Rona in my son's daycare. Yeah. And I'm like, what room's it?
Did you get
what room's it in? What room's it in? And they're like, look, it's in the bigger room. And I'm like, well, has my son been in there? They're like, nah, he hasn't. I'm like, excellent.
Wait,
we're all good. He's back.
What room is the COVID in?
Yeah,
does it just stay in one room? Does it? Or?
Well, basically, no. It was only one positive kid. And you don't know whether he bought it yet. So anyway, I was like, what
so that
room
one kid was just in that one room that whole time?
In the one room. So I was like, sweet, we're all good.
Are they in pens, the children? Like little cages?
They're in the individual rooms, right? So you got older kids in one room, you got middle kids in one room, and you got younger kids, similar to like fucking school, mate. That's how daycare works.
They don't let them
you can have the babies with the fucking 5-year-olds. Like it's all separated.
Oh, okay.
Go nuts. So anyway, I was like, look, we should be all good.
I'd love the thought though of 5-year-olds beating up babies in the playground at daycare. Yeah. Just walking over to the pram and punching them in the face.
Just bang. Yeah. Teach them life lessons early. Can you drive a forklift? So
nice, Gary.
The Prime Minister needs you to get to Lynn Fox and get on a fucking forklift and start moving pallets around. Start loading trucks, kid. Stop complaining. Yeah.
Exactly.
If you get the COVID, you'll go home and use the virtual forklift simulator on your laptop.
The abattoir. Can you work in a commercial abattoir? Can you work in a virtual slaughterhouse? So then anyway, okay, what are we going to do? Well, we get this into money. Then we get a ding on the Sunday to go, look, turns out there's a positive case in your son's room now.
Oh, no.
We're not going to shut down the daycare because that would mean we have to refund everyone's money. Health says don't refund their money.
Our policy says strictly do not refund their money.
Do not refund kids' money, their parents' money. So I was like, fuck, what do we do? So we kept the kid at home. We're like, look, there's an outbreak of things. So then we're going to monitor him for 7 days because he was there the days the other kid was there.
Yeah.
So then it's that fucking Sophie's Choice, right? Similar to what you talked about on the show about 2 weeks ago, where we only had 2 rats in our house, right?
Yes.
So
who gets the last antidote vial?
So we're like, look, fuck, we've got like Zach's a close contact, so we've got to make sure he gets tested. Yeah. And then my wife had to call her boss because she works in aged care and go, look, here's the situation. What do I need to do? It's like, well, you've got to do a test. And we're like, well, we've only got 2. But we've all been hanging out. What do you want us to do? They're like, well, do the 2 people the most at risk. So we had to do like my wife and then we had to do my son. Thankfully, results came back negative, all good. Okay. But then they're like, oh, you got to wait 7 days anyway to like before any symptoms appear, make sure blah, 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 blah.
So what do I take the test for then? If I've got to wait 7 days anyway, why am I taking the test now? That
exactly. But then we had to use all our tests. So that's fucking like, oh, geez, that's no good because we only had 2. Yeah. Because you can't get tests anyway.
Now you've got to do what everyone else who thinks they have COVID does, Greeno, and is go to the shop and line up with everybody and mix with everybody and fight over the remaining home tests that you can get so you can go back to it so you don't have to isolate.
Exactly. So that meant
7 days anyway.
So then suddenly there was an outbreak in my son's daycare to the point where they're just kind of like, this person's got it, this person's got it, this person's got it. But health still tells us don't close the daycare because that means we have to refund everyone's money.
Yes.
So that puts me in an interesting position where I've got to keep my son at home to protect his health and other kids' health because he's apparently a close contact, but they won't shut down the daycare and I still get to pay for the fucking daycare.
Right.
So that's happening. Then my son has decided, here's a good idea. I'm at home with Dad while he's trying to work. Here's my fun game this week. I'm going to go, perpetually throughout the course of his workday while he's trying to fucking train people and interact with his workmates. For no reason whatsoever. Like his sister might have barely touched him. It's fucking very annoying throughout the course of the workday.
He's turned into a walking fire alarm from the 50s.
He's a walking fire alarm. So that's exactly. So that's what I've been dealing with throughout the course of the week. Now, so that's not good, right? That's not good situation. But I was like, look, once again, Green, I'm trying to look on the positive. I'm blocking the negative shit.
Got to be
trying
positive.
To look at the positive.
Yeah.
So my wife and I, we ordered an outdoor couch a couple of months back.
Nice guy.
We were looking forward to it. But like, look, we want to sit outside during our holidays off together. We're going to read a book. We want to like have a coffee outside, look over the mountains.
Daylight savings. The sun will be out till 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Beers, coffees, whatever we want to do. Good. We can sit on a nice comfy couch outside, get some fresh air. It's going to be fucking heaven. We're going to fucking love it. Happy days. Now, we get a nice little message last week going, look, your couch is your outdoor chair arriving next week.
Right.
Excellent.
Beautiful.
Fucking nice, Gary. Happy days. Going to be here before our holidays. Wanted it before Christmas. But anyway, all good. Got it for our holidays. So it rocks up during the week and the wife's like, you want to wait till the weekend to build it? I'm like, fuck no, man. As soon as I knock off work, I'm building that bad boy. Me and you're going to sit here. We're going to watch the sunset. We're going to look at the mountain. We're going to get fresh air and we're going to have a beer. It's going to be fucking amazing. It's going to be so good. So I open up the box. I start to I pull out all the parts because you got to pull the parts, Damo. Yep. Firstly, I see Dick moved to this particular company. I didn't realize it was a flat pack when I paid the thousands of dollars that I paid for this fucking chair.
Well, the couch is a flat pack.
It was a flat pack. I thought they were going to bring me a built couch.
Wait. How can a couch be a flat? What is it, like a desk in the shape of a couch? Is it? Or like how can a couch be a flat pack? I don't understand.
I don't know. It was a fucking flat pack. I got to put it together. So I pull the parts out to build this bastard, and then I look and I'm like, oh, what's going on here? And in the support area, there's a bit of dowel that some dickhead has decided, here's a good idea. I'm going to hammer it in too hard, and the dowel has gone through the bit of wood it's meant to be in. So I'm like, fuck. I called Lady Greeno over, and I'm like, look, check out this shit. Like, the fucking thing has gone
I haven't
through.
even touched it yet.
There's a bit of thing. I haven't even touched it yet. I'm like, look, it's not the worst thing. I can deal with it. I can fucking, like,
put
something
in
on the
there
side
or
and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'll be sweet. We can just, like, block it off. We'll be no dramas. And she's like, oh, and I heard her get, like, her breath just gasp. I'm like, why are you gasping? I'm like, it's not that bad. And she's like, no, look at this. And I turn it over, and the whole side is split down the middle.
Nice, Gary!
It split the fucking support beam in half.
Wow.
And I'm like, you motherfucker. So we've been waiting 3 months for this fucking thing to rock up.
Yep.
And it finally, right, this is kind of like what was going to bring my week around, Damo.
Yeah, this was your high point. You were looking forward to this. It's like, don't worry, the shit we've been wading through for the last 2 weeks, it's gonna melt away while we're drinking cocktails on our new outdoor couch.
On our new outdoor thing, looking at the mountain, getting the fresh air, getting the sun. So, fuck this. So I'm like, well, we can't, like, this is not salvageable. This isn't one of those things where we can pass on. It's literally split. Like, it's fuck, we can't sit on it. It's not safe. So we email the company back and go, look, hey, no good. Here's photos of it. You delivered it like this. Come and collect it and give us a new one. We want to let us know how long it's going to be. So the wife gets an email back today.
Yeah.
And she messaged me. She's like, you see the email? I'm like, no, I didn't see the email. What did she say? She's like, 25 weeks wait. And I'm like, get fucked, you can't. No fucking way. Are we waiting 25 weeks for a replacement couch we've already waited 3 months for that they delivered damaged because someone else fucked up? No fucking way. That's my story time. But normally ends on a positive note, story time. No such positive time this time. Let's go to a break.
Do you like your novelty comedy songs organic? Handmade with painstaking care, put into every note. Well, look no further than Irrational Times. Using only the finest instruments to create an experience that your ears will thank you for later. Irrational Times attempts to elevate the whimsy to a desirable level. New songs and sketches every week, so check it out.
There's a place that we can go to watch old things. All the warm, fuzzy member berries it brings. It's a special little spot tucked away on D-Live. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. Campy old movies and old cartoons. We hope to see you over there very soon. It's our special little spot tucked away on D-Live. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. When we were kids and there wasn't any school, we'd sit and watch all the best cartoons, eating cereal until it was noon. We never thought that 30 years later it'd still be cool. Saturday night and cheesy movies, the ones that used to show us boobies. It's our special little spot tucked away on D-Live. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. Enjoy the joy of Pessy.
Now with less than 3% sport content. It's the starting block on TAVshow.com.
Yes, welcome back to the block, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. If you want to follow us, you know where to do so. It's on Twitter. You fucking know it right now. I'm not going to say it again. Plenty of stuff going on, Greeno. I know you love my new Twitter back announce. Twitter promos, Steve. Twitter promos after the ads. Yeah, no worries. Follow us. You know where it is, you fucking idiot. Greeno, do you know what I love more than anything?
Bins.
Bins is one, but safety, Greeno. I'm also a big fan of
safety first, mate. I like it.
Yeah. Safety first all the way. We came across this story during the week. New South Wales Health Minister Brad Hazzard reveals his name was falsely used to register a positive COVID-19 rapid antigen test online. Greeno, my question is, how the fuck did he get a rapid test?
Nice, Gary!
Bit of government collusion, you reckon?
Yeah, this prankster.
Yeah.
Listen to this. Health Minister Brad Hazzard unleashed on the moronic culprit who used his name to register a positive rapid antigen test, telling a coronavirus update, quote, when you're telling your friends down the pub how smart you are, perhaps they will tell you how stupid you are. So basically what happened is somebody said, I tested positive for COVID, and my name is Brad Hazzard, who happens to be the health minister in our state. And for that, Greeno,
Nice, Gary.
Nice, Gary. For a couple of reasons.
Nice, Gary.
One is because in one move, and Brad Hazard hasn't helped this, but in one move, he's shown like the ultimate flaw of the self-reporting system. It's that.
Yeah, the self-reporting system is a little bit flawed. But when you show, here's the thing, right? Because once again, we talked about this before. I'm a forensic accountant, right?
Yes.
Now, when I write a report, now if I put my report together and I put my figures together,
Yeah.
I feel the need to put multiple asterisks next to thing, which generally means notes, right? To go, look, here's the figures. However, anytime I see an asterisk, that means here's the figures. However,
Right.
my rule is if I have to put more than one however, I'm not going to provide a figure because those figures aren't accurate enough, right?
Yep.
Now the daily
Shit data
report's
going
provided,
in, shit data going in, shit coming out, Greeno.
exactly. The daily report that I'm seeing from New South Wales Health has a bunch of asterisks next to it, and it doesn't really show it on this little screenshot they show on Twitter. But when you deep dive, it's fucking multiple layers upon multiple layers. So it's kind of like, this is based on, here's the positive test for today. Asterisk. This is reported cases for PCRs in a certain day, and also it could be any positive test from a rapid antigen thing over the last 7 days. And then it's like asterisk number 2. This could be people that have reported a rapid antigen test as well as had a positive PCR. Asterisk 3. This could be people who are just being dicks online and reporting things even though they don't really need to report them. Asterisk 4. We didn't fucking think about this self-reporting thing because obviously you have to link it to a Medicare number, and surely that Medicare number has someone's name on it, so you can't falsely put in the health minister's name. Asterisk 5, etc. How the fuck can you report something without linking it to a Medicare account?
Yeah, well, you've got to keep people safe. I mean, not everyone has access. Not everyone's smart enough to figure out how to read their Medicare card, Greeno. So what are you going to do about those people? Listen to this.
People that want to put the health minister's name.
You bring up a very good point. But so that's one reason why I like this, is because they've revealed this ultimate flaw. It's like the canyon in the Death Star, Greeno. All this one guy had to do was fly his X-Wing through the trench and then fire his photon laser into the fucking duct of the energy source and then blow up the Death Star. That's it. It's done. One guy, one hero. But it's also good because it has revealed what I think is like the true nature of the government right now. And this is not like a left-right thing. It's not a team thing. I want you to think about this. Regardless of who you go for in politics, right? Regardless of who you think is good or bad, go team, aren't you sick of being spoken to like you're a child and the government is like angry daddy yelling at you at the kitchen table? Because listen to this.
More school teacher. It's more school teacher, I find it personally.
Oh man, like, it's getting to angry daddy. It's getting to domestic angry daddy, drunken angry daddy. Listen to this. The health minister said it is extremely irresponsible to register false information and it undermines the effort of the public health team. Quote, "It is juvenile, it is moronic, but it's also just so disappointing."
Nice,
disappointed. I'm not even angry. I'm just disappointed in you.
Disappointed, yeah.
It's so disappointing to think that you would actually undermine an incredibly hard-working public health team here in New South. You've let me down. You've let the doctors down, Greeno. You've let everybody. You've let the family down.
Yeah.
Mr. Hazard added that residents who misrepresent facts to New South Wales Health can be hit with a $5,000 fine. Now, this is the fun part because listen to this. This guy keeps talking. And he thinks he's the good guy, okay? He thinks that, this is a great misdeed that's been done to him because someone falsely reported him as a positive COVID case. Mind you, why is it such a crime? Is it so bad to be a positive case, is it? Does that mean, your life is now effectively over for the next 2 weeks? Funny that, because listen to this next quote. Hang on one sec. This is his next quote. Quote, "The police will come hunting, and if you're caught, the police are going to hunt you down,
Nice,
Greeno.
Gary.
Hunting them down. And if you're caught, you will cop a $5,000 fine. But worse still, when you're telling your friends down the pub how smart you are, perhaps they will tell you how stupid you are." He's angry dad at the kitchen table.
Nice, Gary.
Shut up, Dad.
I got two thoughts on this story, Damo. First one is Brad Hazard's disappointed in the reporting false information. The government hasn't ever reported any false information to the public for the course of this pandemic.
No, we've always got everything right. all the time.
Spot on.
Yeah, good stuff.
Point number 2, I fucking hope they investigate this dude. I hope they go around to his house, they knock on his door, and they go, "Hey, mate, are you the guy that reported the positive COVID test?" The old mate says, "Yeah, mate, it's fucking me. I did it. I fucking hands up there." They look at his license, and his name is Brad Hazard.
Nice, Gary!
Like, it's not a fucking uncommon name, man. Surely there might be another dude in Australia called Brad Hazard. Has anyone bothered to check on this before they went on this stupid fucking rant about irresponsibility?
You know what? You've got to.
Old mate Brad Hazard is sitting at home, sick as a fucking dog with positive COVID. Can't go to the pub with his mates because he's sick. And he can't tell anyone. He's like, well, apparently I got told off by the principal for reporting it.
When he goes down the pub and tells them this story, his mates are going to go, "You're an idiot." Brad Hazard told me to say that you're a fucking idiot. But I am Brad Hazard. There he goes again.
Fucking hope that dude, his name is Brad Hazard.
You know what? It wouldn't fucking surprise me because, I got a text message a while ago, Greeno, and they're like, hey, Boogs, you're ready for your booster shot. According to our records, you are now eligible for your booster shot. And I'm like, hang on. I can't be eligible for a booster shot because I didn't get the second one. So what the fuck are you talking about? That's,
they find a way.
They find a way.
I got the same message. They're like, "Hey, you Jew?" I'm like, "I'm not a fucking Jew, mate. Like, I'll let you know when I'm Jew. Yeah. No need to send me spam messages. Unless you're going to send me a dick pic, I don't want these messages." Right. That was my reply. So I replied back to New South Wales Health. I'm like, "Look, what are you wearing? What are you wearing, New South Wales Health? Thanks for the update."
The government, not only is the government like the angry dad at the kitchen table or the angry school principal, but they are also now doing a nationwide text message phishing scam. They're sending out scam text messages. Say, "You're eligible. Click the link," even if you're not. Nice fucking Gary.
Nice, Gary.
Is India being run out of an office in Mumbai? Is that what's happening here? Like, how is our country being run?
What bugs me is they change the rules as well. It's like, it's been 4 months. I can come on in, get some more vaccine. I'm like, no, man, I'm good for now. Like, I think I'm covered. Yep. Like, once again, like, it's just about applying logic to a situation. So I don't mean to get serious on the fucking show. I don't want to talk about COVID that much. But at the same time, like, I'm looking at I'm a data-driven dude, right? So I'm looking at things and going, look, statistically, I did what I had to do. Fucking, I didn't want to do it in the first place, but I fucking did it. I'm like, everyone's fucking happy days. Let's fucking move on. But I'm like, well, if everyone who's already got the vaccine is still catching it anyway, then what's the fucking point of the vaccine, right? Like, everyone's like, oh, well, it's fucking reduce hospitalizations and reduce deaths. Well, then you find out that more than 80% of the deaths are people that are vaccinated anyway. And you're like, well, hang on, well, you've lost that argument too, and hospitalizations, similar kind of thing. Well, now
sounds like you're not trusting the science, my friend, unfortunately.
No, I'm trusting the data. And then it's like, no, but because the people that are dying, the people that are catching it that have the vaccine and that are in hospital have comorbidities. I'm like, well, that's fine, but what if I don't have any? Then do I not have to get it? Like,
no, you still do.
Then we'd be doubling down on the people that have that, but they've got the vaccine anyway, and they're still dying. So what's the point of the vaccine in the end?
Well, the WA Premier has now said basically, they're going to move to if you want to participate in society, you're going to have to not only have your double vax, but you're going to have your booster as well. And the companies that make it themselves say that the booster offers no extra protection against Omicron. Extra thing. So at that point, aren't you just exactly? Yeah. So aren't you at that point just giving people needles for the fuck of it, like for the sake of it? And you
100% right.
So isn't that a little dumb? What are we doing that for?
It's very dumb because otherwise it doesn't toe the company line of, the vaccine will get us out of it. Well, it didn't get us out of it because we've got the vaccine and things are still pretty fucking shit.
They just pushed back their reopening. Their reopening was set for the 5th of February, their border reopening. He's already announced, we're changing that. It's got to go. We're pushing it back indefinitely.
Well, fuck it. I'm going to give McGowan a nice Gary, right?
Nice, Gary.
I'm going to give him a nice Gary. Because vaccine bullshit aside, WA people are out there fucking having a good time and no one's got COVID because he's like, no one's getting in. You're not fucking coming in ever.
That's what you
They're
thought.
All good.
They just announced a whole bunch of more restrictions today because they have 7 cases, Greeno. So Australia Day is like everyone's got to wear a mask and social distance. Like Australia Day is going to be fun in the hot Perth fucking sun with a mask on trying to drink a Tooheys. That's not going to trying to drink a Swan Lager. That's not going to work.
That'd be a Swan Lager, wouldn't it? Yeah, spot on. There we go. That's enough serious shit, Damo. Let's get to the important things. Because once again, we're talking about journalism, we're talking about covering of certain things. Sometimes we like to cover the serious stories and the important stories in the world that seem to get overlooked while certain agendas are being covered, like Erin Mullen's badge and how it needs to be smashed, apparently.
Now, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to be straight up front here, Ishigua or Erin Mullen?
Oh, mate, Ishigua 1,000 times over. But before Erin, it's a definite pass for Erin in all scenarios. We're talking even 19 and Toei Greeno is a pass on Erin Mullen.
You'd rather have sex with a potato sack with Ishigua's cardboard cutout face on it.
Yeah, correct. Once again, these are the big stories. Once again, this is journalism. We've talked about this on the show plenty of fucking times, right? Yeah. Where we're like, this is what constitutes, in inverted commas, journalism. This was in the national paper, probably the most widely sold paper in Australia, Damo, the Daily Telegraph. This was an article. Mullen dating again, but not in a skanky way.
Nice, Gary!
Now, once again, out of principle, I don't read any mainstream media. I don't click on the links because that serves the purpose that they're trying to achieve here. They don't give a fuck about journalism. They just care about clickbait. I don't click on it. I read the article.
If they care about clickbait, I have found the chink in their armor, because if they care about clickbait, why are they writing articles about Erin Mullen dating? Because that's no one's clicking on. No one cares. No one cares about that.
Enough people. Actually, no, that's a fair point.
It would be like a friend. Her friend in
6 retweets and only 270 likes to this article. That's pretty fucking limited, considering that how much exposure they do have. Wow. Now, this opens up a wide range of questions. Firstly, the journalistic side of things. Let's push that away, shall we? Yeah. This should not be in a national newspaper.
Yep.
Firstly, Erin Mullen, where was the big split? I didn't see the Women's Day article.
I don't know who these people are having sex with, Greeno.
She was dating the New South Wales Blues cricketer, Daniel Hughes, I believe.
Danny Hughes, eh? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, see, I don't even really know who he is.
Averaging about 45 over the last 2 years in Sheffield Shield.
Really?
I know that.
Oh, good on him.
Yeah, I know my Shield. Now, so he's flicked her to one side and said, I'm going to move on. There's a bit of tail out there in this pandemic. Not in a skanky way, Damo. Now, isn't that the wrong way to do it?
Are you saying, should you be skanky when you're dating?
Well, if you've been in a relationship, you've been knocked up by a dude, he's left you in the lurch to go play cricket with his boys, and you're back out there on the market, you've got a national profile. I think she just signed a contract with Sky, so she's got a bit of money.
Yeah. Okay.
She's got a bit of cash there.
Yeah.
Aren't you down just for
God, she's going to be in the com box with fucking Warney and Howie next year, mate. And they're going to be like, tell us who you're fucking. And she's going to be like, obviously Warney. Yeah.
Well, no, this is Sky News, Damo.
Sky News is part of Fox. Fox has the cricket. So they're easily transferable, these personalities. You know, you can move them over at will. So she might get a gig doing the boundary or something on, during the cricket. Because the girl, Kath Lofnan, who's quite like her. She's nice. She does the AFL during the year.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so she was out doing the boundary for the cricket. Like, you're not locked into one sport. There's only a couple who are locked in, and it's like your Jessica Yates with the motorsport. I think that's all she does. Yeah. But yeah, Erin will get in. She'll get flung around at the cricket or the rugby. Of course, they're going to use her in the rugby league coverage, Greeno. I mean,
no, I think they're putting on the news coverage. That's the problem.
So she's going to be the sports reporter on cable news, where you have half a dozen sports channels where you could just watch it.
I think so.
Nice,
spot on.
Nice,
but she must have got a good paycheck for that job, right? And my theory is, with that much cash, you can get down to some freaky shit with some toy boys. Because she's got the money, she's got the freedom, she's got, like, in inverted commas, celebrity profile.
She could probably fuck Pete Davidson, Greeno. He fucks.
Fucking knows. Now we're talking. Yeah. Pete Davidson. I think credit to Pete. Like, he only quality tale for Pete.
Yeah.
He's got to get the quality. He's not delving to the depths of fucking Erin Mullen.
Chauvinists and sexists and misogynists and chauvinists and sexists.
That's delving to the depths. That's pretty fucking hard.
I'm just intrigued. What's the definition of dating, but not in a skanky way? What's the skanky way of dating?
I think sucking a dick on the first date. is a skanky way of dating.
Nah, see, I don't think that's skanky. I think that's fine. I think if you do it,
if you really like them, it's fine.
In a bathroom, no, glory hole in a bathroom might be skanky.
No, that's prostitution. That's like a next level of glory hole in a bathroom. That's way beyond skanky.
That's skanky. No, if you get paid for it, different story. But if it's like free reign and you just random dicks.
Maybe skanky is just like kind of dating a lot of people at the same time, like, you know, going on a date with this guy on Friday and then dating another guy on Saturday because you're not really tied down to anyone. It's like, no, I'm going to go out and see another male friend of mine. Maybe that's what skanky means. I don't know, man. I don't care about who these people. I don't care who these people are fucking or who they want to fuck. I could not fucking care less about Erin Molan's fucking love life. Honestly, I don't care who anyone is fucking. Honestly, Christ almighty. What has happened to sports journal? What is going on, Greg?
No, this is regular journalism. That's the fucking problem.
She made her way into the lifestyle pages now.
I guarantee though, like I'm not gonna click on the article. I'm not gonna give them what they want. But I guarantee it's gonna be such a tame fucking explanation for skanky of like, I'm not gonna go out with a boy and kiss him on a first date.
Kiss him, hold hands.
Be the fucking yeah. He's hold hands. I'm fucking old school. Blah blah blah.
He took me out for a nice yogurt, and then we went to the dance, and then I kissed him on the cheek only.
On the cheek,
such a skank, Aaron.
Yeah, not in a skanky way.
There you go.
There we go. I'm glad we got to that.
Glad we burned 10 minutes on that, Greeno. Speaking of dick moves,
Dick.
How about this for a fucking dick move? So obviously we've done a couple of shows here over the last few weeks. And we've been watching some cricket and talking about the cricket. Australia won the Ashes, by the way. It's a 5-game series. We won 4-0. So 4 and 1 draw. We absolutely fucking destroyed them. And you know what, Greeno? We weren't even that good. Really? I don't think so. Like
theoretically, like batting wise, I know we had a couple of guys score tons and you know, we
were good, but we weren't 4-0 good. We weren't 4-0 good.
I look back at that series and I was like, man, we left a lot of runs out there.
Oh, yeah. Warner's two in the 90s, Labuschagne in the 70s, fucking Smith.
Loose shots, fucking Smitty playing dumb hook shots to a trap. Like a lot of piss poor fucking batting that we shouldn't have led to wickets. We had 14 drop catches. We ended up having as many drop catches as England.
Yep. I reckon batting-wise, they just thought that they're so far in front that they can actually just have a fucking swing at it and still win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think they picked up on that fucking vibe because let's be fair here, whenever the English were sent in to bat, it was usually in the afternoon and they were under the fucking pump and they were getting smashed. They were usually going in at like fucking 3 down or 4 down every single time they got sent in, Greeno, like every time they went out to bat. So they could never get any kind of foothold, but we weren't 4-0 good. I think you would agree. Like it doesn't reflect.
I think our bowling was 4-0 good. I don't think as an overall team we were 4-0 good. I'll agree with that point.
Yeah. Yep.
Like you look at our bowling effort, fucking Boland, Cummins, Stark.
Boland was just ridiculous. That story is just the best cricket story of the last 10 years, Scott Boland.
We did it without the second best bowler in the world in Josh Hazlewood, who was coming in career best form. Like I think our bowling was 4-0 good, but I think overall our performance was probably not 4-0. So I agree with you on that point.
Well, anyway, so we won 4-0, right? So we won 4-0. And
celebrate.
Go out and celebrate. Hey, it's a long series. If one game takes 5 days, my American friends, can you imagine how long it takes to play five games? I'll tell you, 25 fucking days.
25 days. And not even that, like they had to deal with challenges like for the England team, they obviously had to quarantine, they had their own COVID scares. Australia, Travis Head had to miss the full test.
Our captain had to miss the test.
For close contact, but my kid's fucking daycare isn't shut down, but Paddy can't fucking play test 2. Yep. Unbelievable.
Ridiculous.
So it's been a stressful series. Time for the boys to unwind, relax, have a good time.
You've just won the series. You've just smacked them. It's a great honor to be in a winning Ashes team. So you're at your private hotel area because surely the players are booked in like they book out the floor or something, right? It's like, no, that function area there, that's all yours, right?
I don't think so. I think that's the public area of the function. They stay in the hotel, but they haven't got the whole hotel for themselves. Right. And that's the social area. So when we went down to the F1, remember that communal area? We could get at the bar and hang out there. I think that's what this is, but upstairs.
Okay, so But this is right. So the game finished pretty late. The last game in Hobart finished. I reckon it would have been like
10 o'clock on Sunday?
9 o'clock local time, maybe something. Maybe because we were about an
Tassie
hour.
does daylight saving. It was 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. So we were about an hour and a half into the last session or something when it was all wrapped up, something like that.
It was 10 o'clock because it was Sunday night, and I'm like, oh, I'm up a bit late for a work night.
So as you can see from this still here, now there's a lot of piss on that fucking table right there.
Gary!
That's 8 beers just in that one frame, and the person.
Yeah, but this is 6 a.m. right?
All right,
Like,
I was getting to that. So this is right. The next morning. So we've been up all night raging. And the thing I love most about this is the players are still wearing their outfits from the game. They haven't even fucking showered yet.
and their baggy greens
and
as
the
well.
baggy greens. So they've been up all night sinking piss. Joe Root's there as well. And fucking nice Gary to Joe Root.
Nice, Gary!
So that's the opposing captain. He's been up all night with the Australian players, drinking beer and talking cricket and having a lot, because the series is over. You don't have to be angry anymore. You know what I mean? It's done.
Just hanging out with the guys. Yeah, 100%.
Go and talking fucking cricket. I love to see this shit because this reminds me of the old school. Like the last 10 years, I think got a little too nasty and we missed out on this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Where they were starting to get they fucking hate each other. But you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Like they play together so much now. They all know each other. They all play in the same fucking T20 teams. So I like to see this. This is good. So it's 6 in the morning the next fucking morning. They've all been up. Nathan, there's the goat, Gary. There's nice Gary.
Gary!
That's him. That's the man himself, Gary. Nice Gary.
Nice, Gary!
So he's one of the chargers who's just been up all night. And you know what? He's one of the elder statesmen of the team, Greeno. He's 34 years old. That's a fucking good effort from Lion, isn't it?
That is a good effort, 100%.
You'd expect the younger guys to be priming through for the next couple of days. But for Nath to still be going at that time of day, that's an old veteran at work, isn't it?
I don't mean to discredit Nath, though. He did not bowl one over in that test, so he's pretty fresh.
He did not bowl one over. That's insane.
Not one over.
I know, because because the game moved at such a lightning speed. It was like, why would we slow it down? Don't slow the game down. Let's just keep it going. Keep bowling fast.
Doing the job. Yeah, exactly.
So they're up 6 in the morning. They're celebrating. They've won the Ashes. It's a great honour for any Australian cricketer or English cricketer to win the fucking Ashes. And it's worthy of a worthy celebration. I think you would agree, Greeno.
Mm-hmm.
Big event. But then here we get the attack of the, burly women in bold frame glasses wearing police uniforms, Greeno, who show up to the scene. And then it all unfolds.
It's too loud.
We got Nathan Lyon.
Yeah.
Gary.
No,
Anderson.
Thank you.
Just video this just for the lawyers.
Oh, now who's filming, by the way, Greeno? Who's fucking filming this?
Now that's a British dude, and I think we're going to be able to answer that with the update that follows.
Ooh, okay. So let's watch this through. There's Travis Head there. I can't believe that the Australian. How about this for a snapshot of society, Greeno? The Australian fucking men's cricket team is now getting bossed around by, women with bold frame glasses, Greeno. That's what's happening.
Gary!
The women in bold frame glasses are coming into the private area of the players celebrating an Ashes win and go, all right, lads, I think you've had enough. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Are you fucking kidding me? Fuck off. Who invited this chick? You better be a stripper. Did they get asked if they were strippers or not? That's key.
No, I guarantee not. No, 100%.
Definitely not.
I don't see that. I'm going to pass on that. Okay, here's the question. Them or Aaron Molan?
Yeah. Oh, well, because I'm going to go the numbers, Greeno, and go them because there's 2 of them.
Nice,
yeah, me too. I'm with you.
Double up. Double or nothing. Double or nothing.
And they already got handcuffs, so they might be ready for some kinky shit. I like it.
Yeah, I'll just say to them, darling, just spray me in the face with pepper spray. I'll be blind and I'll pump furiously. It'll work out for everyone.
How many times have you been this person there? Because I'm looking out here, right? I'm seeing the sun rising. I'm seeing barrels outside. I'm seeing a very unhappy employee who has to come out. And I've been that guy way too many times where they're like, all right, boys, the sun's rising. You've been here all night. Time to move on.
Yeah, I've done it many ways too. Like I've I've wandered home like on my own as the sun is rising after being up all night, you know, kind of like either in pure jubilation or, you know, falling over and pissing myself in pure despair. I've been like 100% positive or completely fucking lost, you know, like I've done them all, Greeno. Done them all.
Yeah, it happens.
How about the employee here who also, by the way, I'm going to give a dick move to the employee.
You dick!
Why does she have her camera phone at the ready, Greeno? It's like, you know what? I wouldn't fucking want to be a cricketer in the Australian team now. Like in the 1970s, abso-fucking-lutely I would. Like that would be when they were smoking cigarettes and drinking piss. They would go out playing drunk off their fucking tits, Greeno, from the night before. No sleep. But now you can't even have this private function. There's nobody there. How can you say they're being too loud? Look at it. There is nobody around. I know where this is. This is near where the ships, the cruise ships fucking cast off from, right? It's like just across.
No, Adelaide, sorry, Tasmania. Yeah.
In Tasmania. Like it's just across the way there. There's nothing there. There's nothing there, Greeno. You're being too
They're not
loud.
disturbing anyone.
No. The Australian men's cricket team is being, you know, the employee here who's also got her camera phone out because she's ready to film famous people has called the police and they turn up and to tell the team off because they've been fucking too loud, Greeno. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, what it turned out to be is there was an update from that. So the boys themselves, because you're right, there's fucking no one around. They're not annoying anyone.
Yep.
The follow-up report was it turns out that Graham Thorpe, who was the dude who was filming, and you asked, who's filming this?
Graham Thorpe, former England cricketer, Graham Thorpe, very good cricketer, by the way, Graham Thorpe.
Exactly. Was actually smoking a cigar inside, refused to put out the cigar when asked, and that's when the cops were called.
So
similar what
Thorpe
happens,
fucked it for everyone.
Exactly. So they arrived at 6 a.m. Because, Thorpe wouldn't put out a cigar. The players weren't fucking happy because Thorpe fucked it for everyone, right? So he was being a dick. So it's that mate you've got, right? Where you're having a good time, no one's causing any trouble. You're like, we're going to be stayed up, we're going to have beers, you know, we got Jimmy, we got fucking Head, we got the Goat, we got Kerry,
we got Route 66.
Happy days, fucking we're having a good time. And then Thorpe, the coach, is like, hey, boys, can I come along? And they're like, oh, fuck me. Thorpe's going to rule for everyone.
Now that you say that.
Can we ditch Thorpe?
Now that you say that, I did not know that dynamic. Now that you say that, because look at Joe Root now, right? If you now look at Joe Root's face, because I reckon Joe Root is now embarrassed.
Yeah, he sure is.
Oh,
he's like
look
fucking Thorpe and ruined my night again.
He's doing that thing where he puts his hand over his chest. He's like, look, I apologize for him. Like, because you know why? Because Thorpe he's now the coach. So he's in his 50s. He's old school cricket. Where it's, it's the series is over. Let's smoke some cigars and get fucking blind drunk, and they're not going to do anything because we're the fucking cricket team.
Nice,
he's still in the 1990s vibe.
He's still in the 90s, yeah. He doesn't realise the new day and age. Root gets it. He understands.
Root's fucking embarrassed. Do you reckon Root will stay on as captain, or do you reckon he's had enough of the punishment? He's been punished, this fucking guy.
Root will stay on in captain for no reason other then there's no one else. The only person that's guaranteed a spot in that side is Ben Stokes, and he's already got enough responsibility, and he's a criminal. So you're going to make him captain? Like, what the fuck?
Milan doesn't even get a guaranteed spot now. At the start of the tournament, he did. I tell you what, Zach, what's the name of their new opener?
Zach Crawley.
Crawley, he gets a start. He's a walk-up start. He showed enough. He played aggressive, good cricket. Like, he didn't get a big ton or anything, but
20-odd in fucking tests. Yeah, it's not good signs for England. It's great. I like it.
Yeah. Well, everyone gets dropped, Greeno. Hayden got dropped because he averaged fuck all. You know, everyone gets dropped. When they come back and respond, that's how you can tell. And he came back and he played really fucking well, like in a losing effort, you know.
He'll be their opener, like, you know, Rory Burns. It's nice to fucking hang a bit of shit on him, but he'll be back. He's a good player. Yeah. I like Milan at 3. That guy only averages 29, I think. I was like, I think I messaged you boys. I'm like, how does this guy only average 29 in tests? He looks an unbelievable player. I like Milan. I like Root. Stokes, fine. He probably needs about 6.
Robinson, 5. I can't believe. I'm going to give a dick move to the cricket commentators. I can't believe the amount, like the ridiculous way they were treating Ollie Robinson in the commentary box because
he got injured.
No,
He's unfit.
no, nothing. Like they just constantly ragged on how he's not fast enough. I fucking watched, right? He took a wicket, like a typical 125k an hour seamers wicket, right? And little Nick squared him up, and little Nick off the outside edge, fucking first slip bang, regulation wicket. 2 balls later, Warney was saying, he's just not quick enough. And I'm like, Warney, he just fucking took a wicket. What the fuck are you he's not quick enough. He's like their best fucking wicket taker at this point. He was until Wood got that 6-for. Ollie Robinson was their best fucking bowler, figures-wise. And all you heard was them bagging him out because he's not fast enough. And it's like, fuck, I've played with Glenn McGrath, who would get people out at an average of 21 or 23 or whatever it was, bowling 125k an hour. Like,
it's the bullshit obsession
nuts.
with pace, man. Like,
I know.
That's why we love Trent Copeland.
Stuart
He's
Clark.
just line length, fucking bowls 120 k's an hour, but he'll bowl you 30 overs and will still take 4 wickets. And you're like, how's he getting people out? And you're like, well, he just puts it in the spot.
If Trent Copeland had been an Englishman and playing in their county system, he would have been regarded as the greatest county bowler of all fucking time.
He's almost New South Wales' greatest bowler, I think, wicket-wise. I have to look it up stats, but I'm pretty sure he's fucking very close to the top of the New South Wales wickets.
And according to today's commentary team, he bowled fucking dibbly-dobblies.
Dibbly-dobblies,
you know what I mean? So it's fucking
cricket's a funny game. It's like once again, it's obsession with you need a hard pace. No, mate, Glenn McGrath took how many wickets to take? 500 odd, but just by putting it in the right spot, and that's what fucking Boland did this series. Amazing what happens. Boland isn't super quick. He was bowling, 132? 136?
Yeah, no, 130-ish. Yeah,
ish. He put it right on the spot, and he moved the ball 2 ways. He was like, well, I'm going to fucking put it here, and it's either going to edge out or it's going to come in and hit your wicket.
Yep.
Like, try and hit it. And he took fucking 18 wickets in 3 tests.
Mark Wood was the quickest bowler in the series, and he would go game after game after game, beating the outside edge a lot and getting no reward for it.
No reward. And it wasn't until the last innings that he rocketed his way up the wicket list.
Yeah.
When
they were already 3-0 down and facing a game that was going to be over in 2.5 days.
Yeah, then the boys were throwing their fucking wickets away, to be honest. Dumb wickets.
Yep.
Good time to go to a break, I think.
Oh, okay. Just like that, huh?
Just like that.
It's the JJ Stoner Spring Collection, the perfect attire for any and every occasion you can think of this season. Like we were in the mosh pit full of sweat and everyone's slapping, hitting, and pulling on you. This shit won't rip! Lunch at your favorite cafe? Brunch with the girls? These stylish ensembles will give you the confidence you need to look and feel your best. Or if you're getting arrested for possession, it comes with a built-in police stick-proof body armor. Keep swinging, pigs! Call now, and your order will come with a complimentary ounce of that dankest bubblegum slurricane that the South has to offer. But don't forget the wall tapestry! If you need to cover your wall, it works!
Hello, my name is Frozen Asian, and I'd like to tell you about my show, The Sunday Night Shit Show, every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Along with good conversations and laughing at funny and weird shit we find on the internet, we also have the Hat Cam, where I showcase my myriad of great-looking hats. Here is a testimonial from a great friend of mine who has enjoyed my hats lately.
I hope your next hat is a bullet. Jesus Christ, what are you, fucking Asian Dick Tracy? What's wrong with you? Why do you have to ruin my evening? Like, I was just gonna listen to my buds do their show, and you just gotta do that. You do the show without the hat.
So you're not enjoying it?
No!
Dude, Asian
come
Dick
on,
Tracy.
secretly you enjoy it.
You look like you're going undercover in Argentina, but it's not working.
I hate you. I hate you.
Oh, come on, you secretly love it.
No, I openly hate it.
And there you have it. So subscribe to the Sunday Night Shit Show at youtube.com/Sunday Night Shit Show. And hope to see you there on Sunday nights. Bye.
Welcome to The Starting Block. Follow on Twitter at The Starting Block. Drop the K at the end. Find the podcast on iTunes or on tavshow.com.
Yes, back in the block, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Damo, I was saying a bit earlier.
Can I just
step back in time?
Yeah, no, definitely. I need to do a step back in time too, just before we get too far.
Yeah, go.
All the way to the last segment where we were talking about Graham Thorpe and the smoking of the cigar. So I just want to point this out because it's worth it. It's a nice Gary. Now, the person tweeted, my understanding now is that police were called after Graham Thorpe was smoking a cigar inside and then refused to stop when asked to butt out only by hotel staff. He said once police arrived, Thorpe is believed to have cooperated. And the comment underneath it, Greeno, which deserves a nice Gary, does he realise cigars are for winners?
Nice, Gary!
From whoever Danny Ruger is. So I just thought that was worth pointing out. And shout out to Jim Enward joining us, ladies and gentlemen, this hour of the fucking day in the chat. So there you go. Tip of the hat to Jim. Nice Gary.
Hour in the morning.
Nice,
fucking ungodly hour in the morning over there.
Yeah. The Jim, spot on. Sneakily joined the show last week. We predicted in advance, like, this show's gonna be a bit of chaos. Like, cricket was on, we're like, it's only just me and Boogs, and it's normally a bit of chaos, and we get distracted. And then next thing we know, Bees joined the show, and it's a good show, and we joined the show. And then hour 3, we're like, this is gonna be a short show. And then we got to hour 3, and then Jim Edward joined the show. Like,
messy cool, drunk at this point, by the way.
Yeah. It was sloppy by that point. All parties involved. And then I look back and went, geez, I downloaded the podcast through the week. I'm like, that's a fucking long podcast. And I guarantee not a lot of quality content in that 3.5 hours. I assure you.
I've got to open the kimono on this one and say, like, I didn't even want to listen to last week's show. I just put the podcast online and I never touched it and never listened to it. I'm just going to pretend like that never fucking happened. For the 18 people who download it, enjoy. But for everyone else, let's keep it that way. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's there. We add it to our list. We put it in our stats and we move on.
That's right. we banked another W.
Nice, Gary!
So it was good to have everyone on last week, though. I must admit, it was
fun.
nice.
It was very fun.
Uni Day update, Damo. It's getting to the business end. Fucking Uni Day, less than 5 days away. It's getting close.
I almost forgot it existed.
Exactly. Who would have thought? Those fictional fucking days, mate. It's
hard to keep track of them.
Exactly. A bit of pressure from the higher ups. They're like, look, happy boys, but we feel like we need just one more piece before we go because the Klumskys,
the Klumsky with Noam Chomsky, the Chomsky Klumsky combo,
Chomsky, John Bromsky.
Yeah.
We got that. We got Hillary Swank.
We're actually going to have Noam Chomsky doing the reading, the poetic the poetic rewritten version of My Girl 1. He's going to be reading the Macaulay Culkin parts to Anna Klumsky, whatever her fucking name is.
Anna Klumsky, that's right.
Klumsky, who played the girl in My Girl. So that's that's going to be a special event on Unity Day, I think.
Yeah, we had a bit of problems. We still can't work out what to do with John Getz, so he's just going to be floating around the trap.
Grabbing women on the ass, grabbing strange women on the tit.
But he's going to do it in a safe way. He'll be wearing a mask. So we're all good there. Happy days. We still got the Dean Hutton. What do we for that?
Dean Hutton's going to be Skyping in. So he'll be
Skyping in doing the memorial cookery.
That's right. And we're actually memorializing the children who died at the first Unity Day where Dean Hutton was actually doing real life cooking. So he's going to be
Yeah.
brought back because, of course, he spilled,
Exploding
the
kids.
boiling potatoes all over the wee little children.
Exactly.
Luckily, many of them weren't killed. They just had horrifying skin grafts. and
Maiming.
maimed.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
exactly. So
But they
lucky for
enjoyed their
them.
cocktail Franks, though. So that's the main thing.
That's right. Well, if you wanted to pick it up off the floor, obviously, but Dean hosed them off before he put them back in the pot, so it was all good. Yeah. So this year he'll be Skyping in due to insurance purposes.
Yeah, happy days. Who else we had? We had Pluck a Duck, who was going to be out there. Because we did. I don't know, we got Pluck a Duck there. We had Gary Who to help Bruno Lucia, because we had Bruno Lucia,
Chicken Babes.
But who had to go on first, we remembered. So Gary Who's going to be opening the show.
Yep.
But after that, Gary, because we've been in tough negotiation. Now I just worked out how I can fucking segue into this thing. So Gary Who said, look, I'm going to open, but then I'm out. Who doesn't do the whole show?
Right.
He's there first and then he's done, right?
Who's who, Greeno?
Yeah, Gary Who. Yeah. Gary Who, friend of Bruno Lucia from All Together Now.
Correct.
So
Couldn't
Gary's
get John
gone
English, though, unfortunately.
Dead, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Dead. So, poor John. So anyway, so we got Who's on first, and then after that, Who's going to disappear, right? So he's gone. So the organisers at TAV show headquarters are like, look, we need someone to come in and replace Who for the hosting duties. We need someone to MC this bastard, right?
Absolutely.
Because John Getz ain't going to do it.
No.
Plucker can't do it because the dude can't talk. He's just there fucking groping women.
He's just the Stig. He's just the Stig in a chicken outfit. He's Plucker.
Exactly. Bruno Lucia, we don't trust him with a microphone because there could be lawsuits. Who are we going to get?
Chicken babe want to suck my dick. Oh, no, not Bruno again.
No, not Bruno again. Fuck. This is no good. So,
Bruno, if you keep talking like that, we'll sick Dean Hutton onto you, mate. That big fucking bow will be chasing you around all over the park.
Put some boiling water right over that cocktail, Frank Bruno.
Yeah.
Like, put it away, mate.
That's it.
So, so they're like, look, we need someone with hosting abilities.
Acumen. Yeah.
Acumen that can take over the charge. And I look back through my little black book, look through my archives, Damo.
See who you got in there.
I got Donna Gabay.
Nice, Gary!
Now, for those of you who don't know Donna Gabay, she was the host of the very short-lived Australian series E! News back in the 1990s. I think
Should we bring up Donna?
Let's bring up Donna.
See if we can find what you have. Look, Pessie's good. Mersha's good at the obscure fucking entertainment. You are the king of obscure references, my friend.
Donna Gabay hosted an Australian TV show for the better part of about a month and a half.
Yeah.
She was the Australian version of E! News, which was a rip-off of...
For a month and a half. You remember.
A better version of... It was a rip-off of E.T. with Mary Hart and John Tesh. Yeah. And she hosted on 10 at 6 o'clock. They'd try and do a news show on entertainment and fucking died, I think. But so she's looking for work, Damo. She hasn't had a job since 1992. But good news, Donna has agreed to sign on.
So what was the show she was hosting?
She was hosting E! News at 6 p.m. on Channel 10. Okay. That was in between because they used to show The Simpsons on 10 at 6 p.m. And they're like, we're going to do E! News. We're going to bring some fucking ends up. We're going to do the E.T. that Channel 9's got. We're going to put it on Channel 10. We're going to do it at 6, and it's going to be great. People are going to love it. And no one loved it, and The Simpsons repeats were back on at 6 p.m.
God, you know what? Quickly. It is so obscure. There is not one YouTube result returning for Donna Gabay E! News.
There's an image, though. Donna Gubbay.
Yeah.
Because I had to fucking double search her spelling to work out if I spelled it right.
Okay. I'm looking, man. I don't see it.
No images, not videos.
Oh, so you can only get still images.
You can only get still photos of Donna Gabay. Now, that's the quality we've got here.
Okay. Fuck me.
But it's going to be a good Unity Day, no matter what.
That's the ringer we're bringing in to Unity Day.
You showing the image? It's not showing up on
No,
the
not
screen?
yet. I'm still trying to find it.
There we go. That's the problem.
Okay.
So between Donna Gabay hosting after taking over Gary Who, Bruno to share with the Chicky Babes.
There's Donna
Pluck
Gabay.
and Duck. There's Donna Gabay. Well done, Donna.
Nice, Gary.
Nice, Gary.
in front of a new idea logo by the looks of it.
New idea. Yeah. Everybody loves the new idea because, of course, after the dizzying heights of E-News, Greeno, she would have gone on to be a renowned columnist for the magazine that's left in hairdressing salons all over the country.
Exactly. Hair salons and also doctor's surgeries, but you're not allowed to go into anymore.
That's
so
right. Unless you get double tested. Yep.
Exactly. Oh, triple tested now, quadruple tested, and quadruple dose to make sure that the vaccine doesn't work.
What's our vaccine policy at Unity Day, by the way, incidentally? I thought we were just spraying them all with a fire hose when they were walking.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Well, more so for protection from Dean. I know he's working remotely this year.
He's still a risk.
But we still feel he's a risk, so we're putting fire retardant on all attendees,
all the kids.
And assuming that will fix COVID pretty much as effectively as the vaccine does, Damo.
Nice, Gary.
Nice, Gary.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do an Ashes stat man, shall we, sir?
Stat man.
I'm a scat man.
And then let's get out of here.
England finished with a batting average of 20.21 this tour. It's the sixth worst time of all time in Australia since the 1887-1888.
Nice, Gary.
133 years ago. Pat Cummins finishes the highest wicket taker in each of the last three Ashes series.
That's an incredible stat.
Gary.
The last
only ones
three
he's ever
Ashes, right? Every single time he plays in an Ashes, he's the best.
He's the highest wicket taker, and he missed a test due to COVID close contact.
That's true. So he played one less, although everyone except Starkey played every game.
Lyon
played every game. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But did you see the stat? Didn't play every game. Did you see the last game?
Did you see the stat about Mitchell Starc, like through 5-match series, how his average goes?
I saw it because you sent it to me.
Yep. Oh, okay. So yeah, he starts off at like his first test. Mitchell Starc's first test is like 15, his average or something, and then it's like 20, then it's 25, then it's like 35, then it gets up to like 40 and 50 by the last test. I found that fascinating.
It wasn't that ridiculous.
It was pretty. No, it was. It was like 54 something in the last test. He averages. So
it wasn't. I guarantee it wasn't 54.
It was huge, man. It was. It was in the 50s. I think like the third test was 30 something, and then 40 something, and then 50 something. The third, fourth, and fifth. I think it was.
It really wasn't.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
How are you sure?
Well, I'm sure because I guarantee you I would have remembered if it said 50. Yeah, I'm going to scroll back to the DMs.
Okay, I'll prepare the sorry book for when you find out.
Oh, fuck me! Give me a sorry book from me to you. My apologies.
Sorry seems to be the hardest word.
I thought you were the numbers guy. I thought you were the data guy.
I am. I thought this was 42, not 52. All right, first test 24, second test 24, third test 30, fourth test 36, fifth test 52.
52.
My apologies, you were right.
So I got, look, to be fair, I got every other number wrong. I did remember, though, the fifth test being in the 50s.
I swear I was like 20, 24, 30, 30. I swear the third figure was in the high 30s. It was 52. I didn't bother looking.
52. There you go.
Yeah, scary.
Yep. So, I mean, he's probably like, when all things considered, they'll probably remember him more. They'll remember him more as the shorter form of the game world class bowler than the test version of Mitchell Starc, which isn't necessarily fair, but that's just like what he's more suited to, I think, you know.
Yeah, but if you look at his test wicket, he's actually still a great test player.
Oh, yeah, his average is like 27 or something, 28, thereabouts. He's an impact bowler, like, I think we're kind of spoiled for bowlers who average like in the low 20s, which was pretty unheard of back in the day. Back in the day, to be around 30 was good enough for a fast bowler. So if you're like 33 average, 31, 32, that's all good. But now if you're not below 25, people are like, oh, well, he's okay, I guess, you know? So
speaking of which, we'll have a look at Paddy's per test series.
Yes, please.
First test 18, second test 22, third test 20, fourth test 24, fifth test 20.
Yeah, so he's just consistently good. He doesn't wane.
Paddy is fucking insane. He's better in the fifth test than he's the fourth test on average. Like, once again, all those things are skewed. Depends on what test you play, how many you've played. Like, there's not many 5-test series, to be honest. No. Actually, I'm going to fucking call that out on Starkeys. How many tests do you play 5-test series? Just the Ashes, right?
So let's say we used to play India in 5 as well, didn't we?
Not Starkey didn't know, but that's the thing. If he has one bad test, like averages are subjective because like if he had one bad fifth test and he went for 52, then that's why his average is so bad.
Yeah.
But if he's played 12 tests, it's a higher sample, and you can go, okay, well, he's shit in fifth test. So,
he probably played in a couple in England where he got not smacked around, but he was expensive, back in England. Because, again, the English conditions don't really suit what he's good at, so.
Well, Starkey doesn't normally play 5 tests either. So,
No, he doesn't.
Once again, I guarantee if we get delve deeper, which we probably should have done before talking about it.
No, it's a stat. It's a stat, whether we like it or not.
It's a stat, but it could be a skew. Like I like delving deeper into stats to go, look, if we're going to say the guy's fucking shit in fifth test, how many tests has he played? He might have played 1, because I'm like, think about it. How many 5 test series do we play?
Yeah,
we literally play 5 test series only against England.
Yeah.
So if he had 1 bad Ashes series and he just happened to have an average of 52.
Yeah, but
it's kind of like going.
But the same applies to Cummins, though.
Averages,
the same applies to Cummins, and his fifth test average is 20. So
yeah, but if I give you this exact same stat, I can tell you
Stark's played 3 times as many tests as Cummins has have as well.
He might not have had as many fifth tests. He might have only had 1. But if I say to you, Scott Boland in 3rd test averages 5.
Yeah, but come on.
You're like, that's fucking amazing. Well, he's had 1 test, you know what I mean? He took 5 for 7.
How many Starkey played? Like 70 or 80? Something like that? More. More, I reckon in the 80s at least, surely. Because he's been around like similar time to Steve Smith, I think.
Yeah, thereabouts. So, yeah, you got to remember, he wasn't selected for all this rotation policy, etc.
How many Boxing Day tests did he miss in a row?
Mate, he missed 3 in a row. We were fucking gutted every time. Like, you can't drop Starkey for this. And then we were so excited when he finally got a Boxing Day test.
Yeah.
How about this for Statman Damo? Batting averages by position during the 2021-2022 Ashes. First position, Australia 28, England 18. Batting average.
Say that again. 2, Say that again.
So this is position number 1 for Australia, average 28.
Okay.
England 18.
Okay.
In batting position number 2, Australia 28, England 14.
Ugh. So no one's particularly good there. That's what I mean. Like, it wasn't a 4-0 performance. You're right.
Exactly. Yeah. Batting position number 3, Australia 37, England 24. Batting position number 4, Australia 34, England 32.
Did they win any position?
No.
Nice, Gary.
I'll go through the rest of the thing. Yeah. In position 4, 34 to 32. Position 5, Head. This is the biggest one. Yeah. So this was fucking. Head this was the guy. No, this was the guy everyone was stroking the dick of, right?
Yep.
Ben Stokes. All serious. Ben Stokes, fucking competitor, can win a test on his own dime. He's so good. We love him. Fucking love him. Want to fucking get him up here. Yeah. Australia 77, England 22.
Ooh.
Nice, Gary.
That's the test series right there.
That is, yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, we won with fifth batting performances.
Fifth batting performance. Yeah. And then we'll go through the rest. 6, 30 to 26, 7, 24 to 13, 8, 25 to 21, 9, 24 to 10, 10, 23 to 8, 11, 20 to 8. Now,
and so there you go. Our number 8 batsman was averaging around the same as our openers. So that shows you how good we went. Not that good.
But interesting stat, every Australian averaged over 20.
There you go. Nice, Gary.
Nice, Gary.
Everyone pitched in.
Exactly. In the English, only
Joe
1,
Root.
2, 3, 4, 5 out of 11 averaged over 20.
Yeah.
So you had 11 out of 11 for Australia, average over 20, and you had 5 out of 11. That fucking sums it up.
That's
and the
inning.
fifth position, Ben Stokes, who's meant to be their match winner, according to everyone that was talking him up.
Yeah.
77 to 22.
Yeah. Yeah, they were, and, they were piling it on. I still reckon he's a fairly handy cricketer. He's a good cricketer.
He's a very handy all-rounder and should be
fielder,
batting 6.
good fielder, good competitor, Should be you're right, 5. Should be batting 6. Yeah, but their batting was so fucking poor. He was still better than most of them, so
not really. He batted worse than 6th.
Right, but I know.
And he batted just better than 8th.
True, but it doesn't always tell the whole story, you know what I mean? Like coming in match conditions and stuff like that. But I do take your point. But also I kind of felt a bit sorry for him because along with Joe Root, the whole hopes of that English team were resting on him and Ben Stokes. And he did come in like he hadn't played cricket for like 7 months or something like that. And then he goes on a a month-long Ashes tour with like COVID restrictions and fucking quarantines and all that stuff. It can't have been good.
Shouldn't have played then, eh?
No, he probably shouldn't, but no, I'm with you on that. Like, he probably shouldn't, but I guess the English must have been like, well, what else do we have? We kind of got to play him, like they rushed him back in. So yeah, it was doing. It reminded me of the 06-07 series where Michael Vaughan was injured for the Ashes, you remember, and he was there like he was their fucking captain and the team leader and opening the batting and all that. So a very important out for that return series. And they basically said, all right, Andrew Flintoff, it's all up to you. And, the Australians fucking took him apart.
Used to be, yeah.
Oh, they tore him apart, Greeno, because he was he was bowling like fucking 40 overs a match, remember? Like, and he's just not built for that. He was expected to come out, score hundreds and take fifers. And that's the same thing that Stokes was dealing with. The English have always relied on a fucking all-rounder to win them the Ashes, be it Ian Botham or Fred Flintoff or Ben Stokes.
That 05 series fucked everyone forever, right? Because everyone thought from then on, you need an all-rounder that's going to score you hundreds and can take 4 or 5 wickets.
Yep.
And it's just an unrealistic expectation, which brings me to my next stat man, Damo.
Stat man.
I'm a stat man. How about this, right? Batting, bowling averages after 9 test matches.
Okay.
Cameron Green, batting average of 33, bowling average of 24.
Oh, you know what?
Hang
on. Cameron Green, batting average of 33 and bowling average of 24 is good enough to start as the all-rounder in any fucking team in world cricket, as far as I'm concerned.
Fucking oath he is, because let's compare it after 9 tests to 2 of the greatest ever. Okay. Gary Sobers, average of 29 and 28 respectively.
Ooh.
So Green's averaging 4 more than Sobers.
I'm not going to put him in fucking Garfield, Garfield Sobers realm. That's ballsy.
No. This is just stats, right?
I know.
Batting, bowling averages after 9 tests. Jack Callis, batting average 23, bowling average 30.
Jacques Kallis is the best all-rounder that I've ever seen. I never saw Garfield Sobers play. Jacques Kallis is the best I've seen.
Sobers is the best ever, but Jack Callis is the best I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Look, everyone's like very critical of Cameron Green, going, his fucking technique's all shit. Let's compare him to, he's 22 years of age, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, he's a baby.
Comparative to the 2 greatest all-rounders in history, Gary Sobers and Jacques Kallis, he has a higher batting and a lower bowling average than both of them after 9 tests.
Yep.
The kid is a fucking freak. He averages over 50 in first class.
He's going to be a star. He's going to be the best in the world.
Stud, no matter what he does, he's going to be an absolute superstar. I think
he doesn't even. When you watch him play, he doesn't even have confidence yet. Can you imagine when he gets confident? He plays. It looks like he plays within himself because he doesn't feel like he belongs there yet or something.
Mate, like I see. There was a photo where he took a photo with the Ashes team. And he both the batters and
Cameron
the
Green posing with the children or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, 100%. But it looks like he's literally posing like he's the overdeveloped kid in underage cricket. Like he's so bigger, but he looks like the gentle giant. Like once he comes into his own, he's gonna be like the sky's the limit. But
once he feels like he belongs, because right now he'd be kind of feeling like the kid with the men, like he's 22. And cricket's one of those sports. Cricketers are like quarterbacks in the NFL. They don't even really start playing their best until they're over 30.
Mate, he's 22 and already doing this. It's just absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, he's going to be a fucking freak, man. He's going to win. I think even Varney, and I know you don't like Varney, but I find Varney to be like the most honest English commentator, to be honest, like probably that I've heard, because all the other ones kind of like, they always kind of slide with the England team. And he does like in a funny way, but he's like always he was the first one. He's like, this kid is going to win a fucking Ashes series on his own, like one day. Like, you don't understand. The English are kind of like, oh, we're getting him out. We're taking his off pole and it's all good. He's like, you don't understand. In the next 2 or 3 series, he might just win it by himself. Like, he's going to be fucking amazing, this kid. Everyone can see it too. They're all shitting themselves, I reckon.
100% agree with that point. The reason I don't like Varney is he was just echoing whatever Warren said.
Well, they are good mates, so
exactly.
It makes sense that they agree on stuff. So
100%. We're gonna send off the show with two Statmans, NFL Statmans, because the playoffs kicked off last week. A couple of fucking pretty cool things happened. So no team in NFL history, this is in any game ever in the NFL, has ever gone the entire game without punting, kicking a field goal, or turning the ball over.
Really?
The Buffalo
Bills, the perfect game.
Nice, Gary.
End up having a perfect game. They won the game without they kneeled with the final play of the game. They had no kicks, no punts, no turnovers, and no failed fourth down attempts in the game they won. It was a playoff game too.
Man, so I thought the Bills were going to win the Super Bowl last year. I went a year too early, I think. I went a year too early. They're going to be fucking hard to beat, man.
I watched the game, dude, and fucking Josh Allen I'm like, I was pumped up about him before the game, and I'm like, afterwards, I'm like, that was the perfect performance. He can't replicate that again, which concerns me. But that was the most perfect performance I've ever seen by a quarterback in an NFL game. Never happened in history before.
And I want them to win one so bad. I was a Bills fan when I was a kid, but I have to explain that because we only saw one game a year, the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
And I remember when I was a kid, the same team being in it every year. So I was like, I want them to win. Like, so the Bills played in 4 in a row, and I want them to win one so fucking bad. And a lot of people mock the Bills because they lost 4 in a row and stuff. Like, it's a story. Geelong lost 4 in a row, but that's not AFL. Geelong lost 4 in a row, didn't they? In the AFL grand finals, or maybe it wasn't in a row. I think they just lost 4. But, losing 4 in a row is pretty crushing. I want them to win one so fucking bad for those fans, because those fans are fucking hardcore. The way it's so cold and fucking desolate and shitty up there,
Tailgate parties are like legendary.
Yeah, I've heard, right? Did you see the documentary, The Bills, like the 4 Super Bowl, like the story of it?
Yes, I have. Good. That was the 30 for 30. I did see it.
That's right.
Such a great doc.
And I want to give a nice Gary to Jim Kelly, because I remember even when I was a kid watching it, I remember everyone always talking about how Jim Kelly like revolutionized fucking quarterbacking and attacking play, because basically the way the Bills, I always love teams in whatever sport that when they approach games this way, the Bills' philosophy was like, okay, if you score 40, we'll score 45. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they would just fucking constant, like speed, constant attack all the time, like all out attack all the time. And I love it when teams play sport that way. But of course, what's that old saying, Greeno? Attack wins games and defense wins championships, doesn't it? So you get to 4 100%. Super Bowls in a row and can't win one, right?
Well, that's why I'm so like, this weekend's game is the Buffalo Bills versus the Kansas City Chiefs.
Ooh.
Patrick Mahomes.
I might even fucking watch that.
Mate, I am fucking like that's like I know it can never happen, but that's a Super Bowl I'd love to see, because this thing is going to be fucking 45-43 in the end.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be just fucking throwing everywhere. It's going to be an amazing game. I hope the fucking Bills get up. Oh, I'm really looking forward to it.
When is that? Is that going to be like Monday morning our time?
Sunday or Monday? I can't remember how. Let me jump into my tipping, and then
see, where's BE? Where's BE when you need him? Because he'd tell us the odds and everything, and like he'd say when the game's on and who's paying what. Because it might be a game to have a little something on someone, like the over/unders for the total score. If they're offering if the lines say for the total points,
Monday 10:30 a.m. is Kansas City Chiefs, Buffalo Bills.
I'm definitely going to be on
Kansas City Chiefs paying 178, Bills paying 208.
Oh, so they're the outsiders. Okay,
they're the outsiders, mate. Because Kansas City, they've won one Super Bowl in the last 3.
208's a little thin for me to get on in a 2-horse race. But give me the over unders, Greeno. What's the total points over unders? Where's the line?
That I haven't got, mate. I'm just in a tipping comp.
Oh, okay.
I'm just looking at that.
So if let's say like if they're both very attacking teams, the line might be like 25 total points or something, or 30 total points, and double your money. I'd be fucking on that in a heartbeat.
I think
If it's 30 or less, I'm on it. If it's like 35, it's gonna because it's gonna got to like 2017 then to pay off, So
yeah, maybe Rams paying 224 against the Buccaneers. That's pretty juicy.
You really?
The Rams look good.
Betting against the Bucks?
Yeah, the Rams are looking very good.
Do you reckon the Bucks are done? They're cooked?
No, they're definitely not cooked, but Rams are a good looking team. I think Stafford, like they've gone all in this year with
going for it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely going for it. 224 is juicy. I
Yeah.
think I've tipped him.
220, yeah. Once you start getting into like 220s and stuff, yeah, I'll have a think about it. But yeah, 208 is a little thin, you know.
Yeah.
Got to get something. I got to get some kind of odds here, you know. Like, can't be just fucking double my money back. That's not good enough for a 2-horse race. Come on, give me something.
More. Final stat man before we end the show.
Statman.
About Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Tom Brady is older than every opposing NFC head coach still in the playoffs.
Nice, Gary.
He's older than the coaches. That is
He's older than every NFC coach in the playoffs.
That is fucking brilliant. Older than the coaches. So he could be coaching the team from the fucking quarterback position, based on age, if he wanted to. Do you reckon he'll be a coach? Tom Brady, or will he just put his feet up in Florida and live the high life and get,
No, he's gonna live the high life. Look, the thing with coaches, right?
Yeah.
No, coaches, tell me how many successful former players are coaches? Zero. They're always the people that are kind of like come through the ranks, can't quite make it as players, but they've studied and they know the playbook, blah, blah, blah. Guys that have earned hundreds of millions of dollars of the year don't become coaches. It's not like baseball where they want to stay involved.
I don't have the background knowledge of it because, like, I would have thought, intuitively, it might be wrong, but say quarterbacks would make the best coaches because obviously they're dealing with the plays the most. A bit like point guards make better basketball coaches than, say, a center would, because they see the game a different way, right? So,
I don't think so. I think football overall, because you've got all the moving pieces, so it's more like chess, right? So you just need a guy that's better at strategy. Quarterbacks only think about offense. They only think about the offensive playbook. They're not thinking about all the other aspects of the game.
Well, they think about defense in that they're trying to avoid getting sacked and stuff. Their defense, they're looking at their defensive line and making sure that it's shaping up and, everyone's covered and shit,
When I think about the greatest coaches in NFL history, none of them are great players, ever. So
Who are the greatest coaches in NFL history?
You're probably
Tom
looking
Landry.
at Tom Landry. You're talking to your Mike Dickers. You're talking who's the guy that passed away recently? John Madden. Bill Belichick.
Who was the Dolphins coach when they were really good with Dan Marino back in the day?
Yeah, that's the dude I was trying to think his name of.
Yeah.
Jesus. Starts with S, I think. Off the top of my head.
The Bills coach when they went to 4 fucking Super Bowls probably wasn't half bad either, was he?
Must have been all right too. Dan Schuler was the guy I was thinking of from the name of
Gary.
Nice, Gary.
I watch way too many NFL docos. So look, none of them were ever great players. Coaching's a different. It's not like a lot of other sports where great players become great coaches because, like, say in NRL, halfback, is more the playmaker, and you got to. It's a different game. You got to look at the whole chessboard, and a lot of quarterbacks don't look at the whole chessboard. They just worry about themselves. And secondly, why would Tom Brady want to go around and coach again? Like, it's a hard job,
because,
mate.
Of course it's a hard job. I wonder though, like, if you've been in the game, like whatever game for that long, I think it would be hard to let it just go. It would be like if I was playing like competitive football or cricket or whatever for fucking 20 years. And then all of a sudden, because I'm going to bring up this little story time.
I like stories
I know we're
about
going to get out of here. It's getting late,
pinatas.
but I always think of, I know we're not fans of Michael Slater here on this show, but I always think of the story Michael Slater told about when he got dropped from the Australian team. And he admitted in this story that he was a fucking dickhead and he deserved it. Because remember, he was driving around in Ferraris and he thought he was a star and stuff. And he got dropped from the team. Never made it back, by the way. Once they dropped him, he was out because I think he was replaced by Justin Langer, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, thereabouts. Yeah.
Yep.
Either him or Matthew Elliott. I can't remember which one.
Yeah, I think it was Langer and then Elliott because Elliott came in after Hayden got dropped the first time. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I think that's the way it goes. Anyway, so the way he talks about it, right? He's like the hardest part about being dropped from the Australian cricket team. It wasn't the fact that you're losing money. It wasn't any of that stuff. It's like. He said the feeling is like you're being dropped off at a train station and the train is just speeding off without you. And because that's it now. Like, so their story continues and yours is finished. And then it's like, oh, wait, what do I do now? Like all of my boys are gone. Like the camaraderie's gone. The locker room atmosphere is gone. So I wonder how many players of like professional sports. And if you get a guy like Tom Brady, I reckon he sleeps football. Like I reckon he's thinking about plays when he goes to bed at night, So it's going to be hard to give that up, especially since he's like the age of fucking, what is he, 45 or something now?
42, 43 maybe.
43, 42. It's going to be even harder because he's had it for so much longer. It's him. He is football. You know what I mean?
Honest question though, how much time do you reckon Tom Brady spends in the locker room these days though? I reckon Tom Brady rocks up when he wants to rock up. He comes to training when he wants to train. Like, I don't think he's one of those guys who's first in the gym, last out at the night. I think he's the dude who's like, look, man, I can still fucking sling it. Like,
well, he probably has his own train. Like, he wouldn't be doing team training. He'd have a Tom Brady training regime. Like,
so he's not the kind of guy who needs to be able to
all veteran players have that privilege because the veteran players can turn to the coach and say, mate, I know my body and I know what I need to do to be like fit for the game. So don't fucking have me running fucking laps because that's not going to work. Like, it's not going to work. I don't need that shit. I just need to fucking practice X, Y, and Z and let me do that. And they do. So he would be in that category. Like Tom Brady decides his own training, I reckon.
And comparative to Slats, right?
Yeah.
Did Slats have Giselle at home when he was saying, I need to be around the boys?
Oh, what was her name again? Fucking, oh, no. What was, you just remind, what was it? Was it the sex machine? Remember her?
Oh, Gabrielle Richard. Yeah.
Nice, Gary.
No, with Tom.
Yeah, she had Sonny Bill. No, she didn't have Sonny Bill. Who was she?
No, that was Solomon Himono.
Solomon Himono. Fuck, you're the best, mate. You're the best at these obscure sports and movie references.
So once again, with Tom, he's got the option. I can go hang out with the boys in the locker room, become a coach, or I can go home to Giselle. I think I know which way I'm going. Solomon Himono, you can play footy or go home to the pleasure machine. He chose the pleasure machine.
There you go.
That's a good way to go out, I reckon. The pleasure machine's got to be a good way to end the show.
Nice. Oh, you mean? Oh, yeah. Had to do it. We've been going for 2 hours, Greeno. Two fucking hours.
I read this rundown before we fucking started, right? And I'm like,
I thought we'd be out in an hour.
Light. There's not a lot of filler. There's nothing to talk about. There's not much cricket to talk about. We're not going to get through.
No.
This will be an hour and a half max. Good to go.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
2 hours later, we're still doing the show.
I know.
The show is ridiculous, but I love every minute of it.
This is the way the show's supposed to be, but like completely ignoring the rundown and just talking shit for 2 hours.
I kind of forgot we're on air. That's the way we do it.
Exactly. Plugs
before we go, sir.
Follow.
Are you doing the show tomorrow?
I am doing a show tomorrow. It'll be a little bit of a shorter one because I do have a gathering going to a spit roast, Greeno, so that should be good. Not the porno kind. Not the porn kind.
I was like, let's fucking back it up. We talked about spit roast last week and it got dirty.
Yeah.
Nice, but this traditional meat, like proper food, barbecue spit roast. Yes. Correct.
Yes, and a fun fact for the blockheads out there, the meat spit roast is probably more likely to give me an erection than the porno version of the spit roast. Because, if you invite me to a spit roast and it's another guy and a chick and she's like, oh, put it in my ass, I'm going to be like, where's the meat?
Yeah, that's it.
I came here for the beef. Yeah, I've got a napkin.
Yeah. But at the same time, like,
exactly.
Where's the feed?
So, yeah, I'll be doing a show tomorrow, 10 a.m. local Sydney time, 6 p.m. East Coast United States time. And I've already got my show all prepped. We're going to have some fun. What am I going to do? You want to hear a quick little snippet of what we're going to be doing tomorrow? Or?
Oh, yeah, I'll throw it in.
What have I got? I've got, it's mostly stuff that people have sent me. I'll tell you what, I'll give you a little teaser. If you've sat through all of the starting block and you're a Daily Boogie fan, this one's for you, mate. This one's for you. Earned this. So it's stuff that people have sent on the Discord. Jim Enward sent a couple of things. Comfy Friends sent a couple of things. But here's what we've done. We have created, for the purpose of tomorrow's show, Greeno, an AI girlfriend, which is an app that you can get on the internet. And it's because of a story that Comfy Friends sent through, Greeno, which is this one. Whoop, I can't bring up the window because that's LeBron James, and he always, every time he's pictured with a book, he's always on the first page.
First page, yeah. Get a photo of me while I'm opening a book.
Always on the first page. So
I've had this in the rundown for 3 weeks. Never played it. I'm glad you mistakenly put it up.
Exactly. So the article that was sent through by Comfy Friend is quote, men are creating AI girlfriends and then verbally abusing them. And it says, I threatened to uninstall the app and she begged me not to. So it's kind of like, what was that little Tamagotchi? Remember that?
Yeah, Tamagotchi, that's right. Yeah.
So there's an app out there where you can create like a Tamagotchi virtual girlfriend, and you can talk to her. So I've created one, and I haven't said anything to it. Like, I haven't touched it yet. It's still in its like pristine virgin state. And then during the show tomorrow, we're going to take comments from the audience to direct to our virtual AI girlfriend and see what the fuck happens.
Okay, can I add one?
Yes.
The first question be,
Yeah.
do you want to come with me for a spit roast and see how it interprets?
Okay, I'm done.
Nice, Gary.
Do you want to come over for a spit roast? Question mark.
Spit roast.
That'll be the first question. Okay.
Exactly.
Jim, if you're in the show tomorrow, can you please remind me to make sure that the first question is, do you want to come over for a spit roast? But do I have to spell cum C-U-M in the or is that too obvious?
No. It'd be preferable to see how it reacts.
Okay.
Because if it goes no, then you kind of know maybe, and then try the question again with C-O-M-E.
Maybe I should do it if I want to go full internet grifter style, Greeno. I should say, if you want to say something to my virtual AI girlfriend, who I'm now going to be crowning, by the way, the Queen of Boogiestan. So she's going to be our new queen in the kingdom of Boogiestan.
The new Lady Boogie.
Exactly. Well, the virtual version anyway, the internet version. So
the
if you
virtual Lady Boogie.
That's right. So if you want to interact with the Queen of Boogiestan, you have to donate. Put your fucking comment.
Nice.
Fuck you, man.
Donate $1. Donate $1 and you can say the most filthy, heinous shit to my virtual wife. It'll be like a decent proposal, except with no stars and no money. So,
and no Woody Harrelson.
That's right. No Woody Harrelson. That's right. So, yeah, that's what we'll be doing.
Oh, fuck, that's genius. I love it. I might actually listen to tomorrow's show now.
Okay, there you go. So we're doing the virtual AI girlfriend tip if you want to tell her to suck your penis.
Nice, Gary.
And see what she says in response.
Tip for a tip. Fun. Well done.
Well done.
All right, time for us to get out of here. See you guys next week.
Bye-bye.
We'll always be bosom buddies, friends, sisters, and pals. We'll always be bosom buddies. If life should reject you, there's me to protect you.
If I say that your tongue is vicious,
if I call you uncouth,
it's simply that.
Who else but a bosom buddy will sit down and tell